All right. And like that, we are back. From coaches to casuals, grassroots to the league, this is Open Gym. I'm Coach Q.
Coach T, who I be.
Coach, way too nice. Coach Wayne, we in the building, baby. Damn, bro, we ain't seen in a minute, bro. What's going on, Coach T? What's been up, bro?
Man, been moving. You know what I'm saying? Trying to keep this thing together, man. You know, being a program guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it's a new year coming.
Mm-hmm.
You got to start early.
Mm-hmm.
like
You got to start early. You know what I'm saying? So
I
I've
dig
been grinding. I've been telling Q. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I'm getting there. Don't kick me out the group. You know what I mean?
We're gonna call this episode "The Return of David Ruffin."
Oh man,
so, bro, I heard you done tapped into the girls' side. What's going on with that, though?
Yeah. So, man, I posted couple last week. I'll be taking a job at Corvian, doing the middle school girls. Nothing too major, but I do want to tap into the girls' side.
Okay.
Just show people what I can do. Keep showing people that, the naysayers and the ones that do support, just keep showing them, my body of work and what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to help bridge the gap. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a big gap out here. We're going to talk about that, I guess today about, the training aspect and all that, but just trying to bridge the gap, man.
All right, so fellas, I like a good icebreaker to start off the episode.
For sure.
I think we all grew up around the same era, and we all love a little music, in which I think that it's almost perfect for me to toss to y'all. I don't know if y'all been paying attention to music news lately, but it's a versus that's about to drop. And
it's today.
Huh?
Matter of fact,
It's tonight.
It might be dropping like right
Oh,
now.
wait, it's tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Listen, we're
Might
going
have
to make sure we
ended a little
condense. It wouldn't start this early, but yeah.
And I think
we
we
might
might like 8 or something like that.
Yeah, we're going to
I think
condense
it's
this
gonna
one
be
a little
dropping,
bit then.
for sure.
But with that said, let me ask y'all, from the 99 to the 2000, or I'm a no limit soldier. I thought I told you. Who y'all going with? Cash Money Records versus No Limit. Talk to me, fellas.
Yo, so I'm not gonna lie to you. We've been having this discussion at work like literally all week, and we've been throwing hits back and forth. Like, me and my guy Rich, he's from New York, and but by way of South Carolina with the
okay, I'm about to say I don't trust New York guys with rap.
Southern
rap.
We've been throwing hits back and forth, and with the big argument that we had was more so like, what do you consider as Cash Money? Like, do you get to include Young Money? So if you include Young Money, you're talking about Drake and Nicki Minaj.
Oh, so it's a complete watch by then.
And then, but if you're talking about just strictly like Cash Money, No Limit is.
You think so? All right, let's talk about this a little bit. Let's talk about this a little bit, because Cash Money still gets Wayne.
Nah, for sure. But like, there are hits from like No Limit that we were playing back and forth. I was like, you know what? If they play that, we got to talk about this. It's old school party. When they play this, everybody runs to the dance floor type stuff.
But
and it still hits like
the back your ass up.
No, what that? But you are talking about like you talking about like you talking about hits where you play them and it's like.
I feel you.
But
I feel you. But go ahead.
But let's put back that ass up against any of the ones you can name outside about it.
But my thing is that what you got to realize is that
I already got my list.
Okay,
all right, talk to me. So Wayne, and again, this is a basketball podcast.
Yeah,
but we just breaking the ice a little bit.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. Like you said, Nicki Minaj and Drake, if you include Young Money, Cash Money, but Juvenile by himself is a monster.
Yeah. Right.
But now we talking big timers as well.
Yeah.
But then we also bringing in just Manny Fresh by himself.
By himself.
Like it's a hard and
it is
like you could throw BG with a couple records too. Yeah. Like if we just my bad, I didn't even mention the Hot Boys.
Right.
The Hot Boys as well.
You're talking about the 504 boys too, though.
Yeah.
Give me Hot Boys.
I mean, I got you though. But I'm saying, but like talking about certain hits, like up the Duke is and from
Yeah.
Oh no, that's one. That's one.
You know
That's
what I mean?
one.
You talking about that? You talking about About It?
Yeah,
They got two strong ones.
You know what I mean? You talking about what's the other one?
This is when it get hard.
When everybody's on
get real hard.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. No, it don't get hard. You know what I mean? Make them say,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So you talking about
that's Master P, but
what I
now
will
think
say,
about what you can run off a Wayne catalog alone just to do that.
You talking about, but for unforgettable hits that translate even from kids nowadays understanding what those hits were versus.
No, I
but
feel
the big timers, like he said, the big timers alone could kind of, I ain't gonna lie, kind of handle the limit by itself.
Let's get this straight. No, so let's get this straight. I was pro Cash Money.
Okay.
Yeah.
My coworker was pro.
You had some no limit guys.
No limit.
Yeah.
And you keeping it honest, right?
Yeah,
I got
keeping
you.
it honest where they were coming from, but I was pro Cash Money all day. And I'm just talking about without even adding Young Money.
Yeah.
So you add Young Money, it's like, it's white.
Nah, it's big wash. But
it's one of them, you ain't even gotta add them. We start with the big timers, beat that.
And so they wanted to add in Snoop.
But then get your roll on. You can start just running some of them down.
I got you. Like literally, like I say, I'm Cash Money, pro Cash Money.
Yeah.
They wanted to add in Snoop on the No Limit side. They was like they were stretching.
They reaching.
They were stretching.
Yeah.
But like I said, I was pro Cash Money because I mean, to me, I feel like this was another argument we had outside of basketball. You know, was greatest lyricists, and I'm pro Andre 3000. They were pro Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And,
but that's one of those arguments that would never end.
We were going from there, then it translated to the versus battle that's supposed to happen tonight, and we was like, okay, But I was pro Cash Money all the way, all day.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, so fellas, I guess again that's first icebreaker. I got one more for y'all really quick.
Hey, but we didn't get to take though. So everybody agree with Cash Money though.
I'm Cash Money.
I'm Cash Money.
Okay. Yeah. That's what it sounded like when Wayne said that. Oh, I'm just arguing. It's just to argue with. I was like, all right, it's a Cash Money.
I was just bringing the argument that was brought to me. Oh yeah, that's what it was.
Gotcha. All right, so fellas, I ran across this. I'm a Gills Arena fan. They backed this. I think this was their first run this week. Of coming back, and they're talking about Cooper Flag playing a point guard. I'll start it here. Let it play for about a minute. Then I'd love to get y'all reaction on the exact point that he's making.
That's the thing.
See, that's fluff. Go ahead. Go ahead.
One like the point guard position seems so easy nowadays. Like everybody could just play the one. Hey, what you play the one?
Because it's not a position.
It's not a position no more.
It's not a position no more.
Nobody's pressing the ball no more.
Nobody's
picking up full court. Nobody's picking up full court.
Traditional point guard. Let him try to bring that ball up against that guy boy in Miami, that Davion Mitchell boy.
Man,
they all got smart.
Yeah,
they all
go bigger.
All these owners went away from the idea of
positions.
Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson made everybody believe the point guard was this playmaker when he is this unicorn of a 6'9" guy. You gave him the ball. He has vision, right? If you start looking up history, that didn't exist. The point guard being your best player, winning championships as a facilitator didn't work, right? Isaiah Thomas was a scorer, guard, play, right? Him and Steph Curry, the only two guards in the last 40, 50 years being that small, winning championships. So if your point guard was the guy like the Chris Pauls and, I'm making your team better, then you wasn't winning championships. So when you look at Phil Jackson and all his guys are about 6'4" to 6'6", spot up guys, defending guys, they never played point guard really. The ball went to our best player, and then everybody started following that motto.
But that's not a scoring guard, though.
So now you got LeBron James come in, and you're like, all right, he plays the point. We can just get two guys to guard the guards, but we're gonna put the ball in his hands. He can see over the defense. You know what I mean?
I'll stop it there, and I guess throwing to y'all. He's making the case that the traditional point guard doesn't win championships. What is y'all thoughts? He said that there's not been one in any team that has had their point guard be their best player has always. I guess he gave the example of Isaiah Thomas and Steph Curry. They would score first point guards. What are y'all thoughts?
I feel like that's true.
I would say the last point guard that won a championship was J. Kidd with Dallas.
Yeah. And that was out of prime, but he still was traditional.
Still Dirk was the main feature of everything, but J. Kidd literally, steadied that ship throughout the year, throughout the playoffs, to make sure that the plays were made in the right position and got those players there. But like since then, I mean, you talking about that was 2011 when they beat Miami.
Oh, Rondo was a point
but you talking about that's 08 first.
Yeah,
that was 08.
Yeah.
So since then was J. Kidd. So Rondo before then, but J. Kidd. But since then it's been, I think Shea would be but you can't say Shea because he
scored first.
He scored first.
Yeah, he scored first.
So given that as like
a traditional pass first.
Halliburton would have been the first one if they would have won.
Yeah. The closest,
the closest to that
because he's majority. Yeah.
But other than that, I think it's been J. Kidd. 2011 was the last point guard that literally led a team. Even though Dirk was the main piece, but he was the person that steadied the ship, made sure the defense was called. Because J. Kidd is one of those guys that literally went from couldn't shoot to being one of the actually most made 3-pointers. Like say like third, fourth.
He became a good spot up option.
For sure.
Like you double Dirk. Knockdown.
Yeah, I mean, and then on top of just making sure everybody got the ball where they needed to be successful. So 2011 would be the last one I would say that did.
So wait, Jason Terry didn't start?
No, he was 6-man.
6-man. Okay. All right. Trey, what's your thoughts?
I mean, shoot, I agree with what he's saying. I mean, like you said, the guys that you name, like I always tell my kids, the NBA is not where you watch to know what AAU coach or a high school coach is talking about for a traditional point guard. You watch college basketball to see that. Sure. NBA is more Donovan Mitchell, all of them, they score the ball.
Yeah. Pick
and roll, snagging it and doing all that, and they scoring. They trying to score.
Or they're more so like a Drew Holiday that was more so he was, I want to say traditional in a sense, but I mean more so on the defensive side.
Yeah.
Offensively, he kind of played more of just a random role for both franchises to win the championship.
Right.
So Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
I remember they were showing the clip where he was at the dunker spot.
Yeah, for sure.
Getting busy. Yeah,
for the Celtics, he definitely played the dunker spot because of the stretching of Al Horford, Cornette, and some of the and Porzingis and everything. So it definitely made sense to put him in a dunker spot to where he was more efficient and effective in that role.
Yeah.
No, I got you. So I guess as we continue inside just the conversation, he was then also making the emphasis of how Cooper Flag would be valuable as now, like I guess maybe Dallas is trying to run him as the point, and because he's a scoring threat as well. Like that's what makes him valuable. That and being able to score over the defense, XYZ.
Yeah.
I'll ask y'all: do y'all think that we're putting too much of an emphasis on the traditional point guard still?
I wouldn't say there's an emphasis or a discredit to it. I feel like there's still qualities of having a traditional point guard that are still there.
Okay.
I feel like being a leader more than anything else still is that quality that's needed from a traditional point guard. It may not be necessarily run the offense through them as it was before, but I feel like a leadership standpoint, a vocal leader, someone who's able to communicate through all levels of the roster, from the star to the last guy on the bench, the 9th, 10th man, to being able to communicate and keep those guys invested in what's going on. But I also feel like play-wise is not as needed.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at what Houston has been doing throughout the preseason. We're playing, what's his name? Almond Thompson.
Listen, hey, shout out to Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah.
This mother.
Go ahead. Hey. If you watch the last one, it's a great inside. Well, it's not even inside. If you're part of the open gym community, you get that joke.
Yeah, that part. But
go ahead.
What they've been doing by just playing Amon Thompson at the point guard and
the all big lineup
that they have right now. Maybe not as much shooting as they could have, but it is amazing to see how successful they've been. But getting back to the question, the traditional point guard, as far as what they brought to the table back in even the 2010s, isn't the same thing now.
Yeah,
it's more so, like literally
the combo guard is that taking over
that part, but also just the flow of the offense with 5 out right now. A lot of the offense are running through the bigs anyway.
Yeah, I was going to build up to that, but yes,
I got you. Yeah, for sure.
Where the action is not explicitly dictated by the point guard, as in wait for the offense, and then I make the right pass.
No, it's more
reads with action, especially as, like you said, big initiates a lot, almost as a hub, but then it's split action and 3-man action that happens a lot.
Yes,
and then it's just reading off
matters.
Yeah.
What would you consider Van Vliet? You remember he got him one in that year he won. Would you say he would score first, or was he still kind of traditional?
Well, I would say, I mean,
we left him,
and that's kind of how the conversation led to the Creighton pitcher thing. But it was more so that Van Fleet was the perfect guard going into this season for Houston.
Yeah.
As far as what they had going on with him tearing his ACL and being out for the year, it was more so what does Houston need to plug and play in that particular spot? And we got to going with the conversation was who would make sense.
Yeah. But that year, you remember the year they won with
Toronto. The year with Toronto was like more so.
And I don't look at him as a traditional PG.
I mean, between him and
that
Cal
year,
Lowry,
you look at him as scoring first that year.
I think at minimum he's fairly balanced, but I think that Van Fleet put the ball in the basket. I mean, I got him to the league, put him in the basket. Yeah.
I think he was more so plug and play to where, like, for that team and that lineup, they would run with more so running the offense through Siakam.
That's what I would say. So
he was a good spot up shooter that
can
knock shots down, but at the same time, if you had to slow it down, go pick and roll,
he could do it.
That part.
Yeah.
I mean, think about him. He was the type to take that took Wichita State from.
Yeah. And he was a big shot maker too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right, fellas. Well, my bad. I don't think you gave like your full take on what do you think that we're overemphasizing the PG, like the traditional PG now? Given what Gil is saying, given what the guys on the couch were saying, the push towards like the combos, the push towards like these bigger guards. Shea's really a 6'6", 6'5", quote unquote guard.
Right.
But when you look at that, like really for the smaller guys, they still put in Carson. They put in like a couple of these other smaller guys to guard the smaller guys.
Right.
Shea's not really playing the traditional PG. Right. What's your thoughts? Or is it still relevant at the AAU level, at the grassroots, at the high school, at the college level?
Yeah, because I mean, you think about it, even with like the guys like Shea and his role, even in Kentucky, right? Okay. He wasn't as like what we're seeing now.
Nah,
you get what I'm saying? Like he kind of groomed. Yeah. So it's like I think you still teach the guys, if they can play, they can play. I just feel like the league is going more towards what we're seeing. The size is more than everything. A 6'5", 6'6" guy that can do both. He can, set up an offense, but he can score it well too.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, overemphasizing it. I mean, if he can play, he can play. Like we might see another Rondo type. You know what I'm saying? Come out.
Well, I feel like that's what we're seeing. Yeah. We're seeing Rondo types, but just different versions of it.
Yeah. He can score a little bit better.
6'3", 6'4", long arms. With Shea, somebody that can score it when he needs to, facilitate when he needs to, but also just do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Same thing with kind of moving some of these other like Halliburton.
Yeah.
He's a walking triple-double, but in a different way.
Yeah.
Russ did it with power and intense.
Right.
Halliburton's a little bit more laid back, coming from Minnesota. I think, is it Minnesota? It may be Minnesota, but coming from like that era of like a different background, different view of things where his game ain't more so what we were used to seeing.
Right.
Very effective.
And I would say, like what you saying, maybe it's just the right place at the right time.
Yeah, for sure.
Because Halliburton, like he don't fit that what we talking about as far as the score first, but he's very effective in that system and what he do. Yeah.
But I will say, like he's almost like an anomaly in the league, though.
Yeah,
would you not
for
say?
sure.
Yeah.
Like
I think he's like when you think of every other PG that you think of, it's kind of score first, and
like
they can shoot.
He really reminds me of J Kidd a whole lot.
Yeah, no, he do.
He has a more so J Kidd feel of things. Rondo versus something like the new point guards with what are we talking about? Like let's say like a Shea or even with Donovan Mitchell is basically the de facto point guard for Cleveland, isn't he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you got guys like that are giving you really scoring mentality, but can create if the shot is not there.
Now I wasn't here when y'all was trying to. Who was that was getting at my guy Cooper Flag, saying it was the worst dude? Was that you, Q?
I posed the question. All my guys answered it the way
of the number one picks from Duke.
Is he the worst? Yeah,
as the worst.
Will he be the worst of the number one picks?
So
and you have Paolo.
Yeah, Paolo,
Zion,
Kyrie,
Elton, and him.
I think Zion will be the worst. And when it's said and done,
hey,
I think Cooper gonna.
My guy Wayne and G, they high on Zion.
I know, I heard it.
I think Zion he's done and how he looks right now.
Yeah,
it shows me that someone has bought into what it is.
No, he not. He bought in. I wish he'd come to Charlotte because
I ain't gonna lie
like we getting Rookie of the Year Melo. You know, I usually talk junk, but
like literally, if you compare his numbers when healthy to anybody else, like mind you, these are 30, maybe 45 games, 60 game numbers, but numbers don't lie.
No,
when
they win too, they win. It converts to
when
win.
He plays, he's top 10,
right,
in the league.
So who are you putting Cooper? Oh, you putting them over Zion?
I'm putting him over Zion.
So Zion
out of that five,
Zion will go down as the worst.
Zion will be the worst because Elton Brand was tough, bro.
Yeah,
no, I get you.
Elton Brand was tough. I can't put Zion over Elton Brand because Elton Brand had a nice NBA career.
Well, he had a solid NBA career, but I think like for me, Zion's going to make more All-Star games than Elton.
Yeah, popularity.
Well, like for me, I broke it down as far as like
you
Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year started with the top for me. That was my top measuring stick. So you had 3 that won Rookie of the Year.
But I think porn messed Zion up now. I don't think he can come back from that.
Oh wow!
You know, I had one waiting on y'all.
Hey, listen, I alluded to it. They ain't take the bait last episode. You wasn't. That was the problem. I alluded it.
Yeah, you did. Right?
I watched the episode again. I was like, he threw a hell of a oop on that shit, and. You know what? Because maybe it's not good in North Carolina no more. Nobody took the bait.
Oh yeah. It's blocked. Yeah. Listen, let me get us off of this. Let me get us off of this. All right. All right. So, fellas, we'll start with the lead in question. Shout out, Coach Wayne. He threw a good one in content versus intent.
Mm-hmm.
So, switching the word intent out with development. What do you think? Are we trading when it comes down to this whole training game that we have? And we'll go down to like even more specifics in a little bit.
Yeah.
Are we trading content in for intent? Are we trading content in for development? What is your thoughts?
Well, I feel like there is a space for those who do train for the content versus the intent. And that's the things that look good on social media, look good on the YouTube short, look good, you know, for a 5 to 10 minute spurt. But what's the intent of that training? And for me personally, I've never been big on posting what I've trained.
What you do, yeah.
I recorded it. Like I go back and actually look at it, you know. But for me to post it, I felt like, nah. For this kid, I want you to see the work.
Yeah,
I want you to see where they were and see where they are, and see where they're going.
Yeah,
and, you know, and it kind of led into that with my own son. Was more so like early on, we posted a lot of things that we did, then it went to like a big gap of like, how did he get there? And it's more so like, nah, he's gonna see the work. He's gonna see how, you know, what the results of the work looks like. But I feel like there are those who in between wants you to see the content of what it looks like.
Right.
And I feel like that's where a lot of kids get missing.
Okay, I see. So you taking this? All right, I'm listening.
You feel me?
I'm seeing where you
You
at.
see what I'm going, right? It's like more so like where there are those that they want you to see everything. Oh man, kid works every day. That may have been a 15-minute clip of what they just did just for that moment.
Right.
Versus those that train with intent to literally get better. Live reps. You know what I mean? Live, situations, game situations. Like, where are you getting your shots from? Like, let's work on those. Versus let's working on a shot you're not going to take all game.
Right. It's a lot of that.
It's a lot of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there are levels to it that comes with that. It's more so, are we training? So there are different levels of training. There's off-season training to where you're trying to build different aspects of the game. There's leading to the season training to where like, okay, this is my role. Let's start locking in on that part. Then there's in the season training. These are where my shots are coming from. Let's work on 100 reps of these. These are the spots that I'm going to get open, have opportunities to create for myself. Let's work on those. Versus just working on a collective of everything.
Right.
But I feel like that's the intent. The content is 7 dribble moves, cone. Step back. He made 3 shots, but you record like he made 20.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But there are those who train for that, and there are those who train for the intent.
Yeah.
And that's what I felt like that came from when I thought about the question was more so who is training for intent versus content.
I'll tell you this, Wayne. Just witnessing the fall league, just looking at high school and then I'm back to the youngins, getting the youngins.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of content going on. And when you see the kid and and then even the dads are telling you who they working out with, you like, for real?
Yeah.
And no knock on nobody because in this basketball community, in this podcast, we try to lift up guys.
Who they working out? No, I'm joking.
But you better stop trying to play.
we try to lift.
Trying to beat
Zion Williamson.
Sean McCants over here now. Come on now, bro.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
No.
Don't take that.
No. But,
I throw some good bait out, but don't take that.
But you look at the kids and you watch them, and after we play, I'll sit and watch, and I'm like, it's just drills just because you got just because drills. And I was watching something the other day on where a guy was talking about training and how it should be, and it should be more assimilated versus cones. He's like, I hate cones. Coaches got to find a way to be creative, and if you're going to show a drop cross or whatever, make it into a game where they're going against a live defender and they know how to time it. They know how to do this. You maybe could show it to them on the cone, but then now you rep it live.
No, for sure.
Yeah. And I don't think it's enough of that going on. And I think some of these trainers out here, and by all means, I'm not talking like I'm the best, but I do have a method to my madness.
Okay.
And it's more of teaching the concept or teaching. And I think guys need to add that if they're not doing it.
Gotcha. So I guess before we start breaking, because a lot of what y'all said kind of lead, or we're going to touch on that as we keep breaking down the conversation. Yeah. But do y'all see value in recording and posting the sessions? And I guess this goes 2 ways. As the athlete and then as the trainer, do you see value in posting the sessions?
Well, I think there's value in intent training.
Yeah.
When you're showing, especially when you get to a high school and you're really trying to promote yourself, not only to just the social, but to literally college coaches. It's intentful training that you're trying to show, I'm working on my craft. And I'm also working on other things that I'm not good at to become better at. So I feel like there's a fine line as far as posting that versus just posting every day, like the day in the life type stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I feel like some of that stuff, it gets kind of work. I mean, to think about like how a day in the life is literally made, that person that's recording that video literally didn't get to your house and wake you up.
Right.
Oh, of course, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you literally, okay, so I'm gonna lay down and get up and show it. So
yeah, right.
So
you're gonna act,
and that's a small part
of
it, but I'm just giving a background to as to what happens in that type of scenario.
Yeah.
To where it's not genuine.
Yeah.
To where you got something more genuine to where you're promoting, hey, I run and get this in.
Right.
This is my regimen as far as shooting, dribbling, defensively, my body.
Right.
Like I really get a kick out of those videos that really show like the full like real day.
Yeah, like the real where you can watch maybe 10
You know what I mean?
minutes.
It's like, okay, boom, get up, the breakfast they eat,
yeah,
the snack in the morning,
yeah,
the run.
Yeah.
Right now I'm following a lot of kids in college, different divisions from 1, 2, 3, NAIA, JUCO, like what's the regimen?
Right.
To get up, to actually eating, the run, the workout, morning session, coming back to shower, and the next breakfast. You know what I mean? The going to class and the afternoon snack, you know what I mean? The weightlifting sessions, the meal after that, then the next meal, you know what I mean? So, and then we're talking about different levels of this, and not just the D1 Kansas, North Carolina. We're talking about literally JUCO. D2 level, you know what I mean, that what they're doing to their bodies to actually be productive. And so I feel like putting things online is great for the purpose, but what is the purpose?
I'll say this, Wayne. I'm not totally against the posting, right? Because I do a lot of it. I know a lot of people that see me, but my intent is just to grind.
No,
right.
For sure.
My intent is this is what we doing over here. We just hoop. If you ain't in the gym 2-3 times a week, 4 times a week, or even on a Saturday, this how we do it. All right. And that's what I'm promoting. But I think some guys, even if you're promoting just the highlights, right, we should be able to see it in your players. Like I'm gonna use you for example, Wayne.
Yeah.
I've seen Zion since second grade. He's always had a knack for shooting.
Yeah.
But he's a really good shooter now. We're talking about a Division I shooter. And I'm gonna say that. You don't have to say that as a dad, because it'll make it seem like you're biased. But we all got a basketball eye, right? Yeah. He's a Division I shooter. Yeah. Now, I've seen the work. So your work is intent.
That part.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So I should be able to see this, and these guys have said that they're training or doing this, and a lot of them get behind kids is already good. No, let me see a kid like yours that's pretty good, and I've seen over the 2 years him be this. Like Zion is like this now when it comes to shoot, and that don't mean he's not gonna stop working, but I'm gonna give him his flowers. 3 years ago, he wasn't shooting like that. He could shoot the ball, but he wasn't shooting like what he's shooting now.
No, for sure.
You get what I'm saying? That's work with intent. So that's all I'm saying with the content and stuff. Let's make sure it's matching. You know, if you posting all this, guys, we should see it in the players. Don't just get guys that's already kind of good and you show them in the gym and we like, man, the kid is already good though.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't be ordering a videographer to come and like film your training sessions. That should be moments of like true grind, like true behind the scenes stuff. Now, and I get it also. There is a space to where what is seen on social media can promote you to a different level. Yeah. And can set you up for future success. But there's a fine line to where it's overbearing and where it should be. Right. You know what I mean? To where like, I don't need to see you putting your socks on every morning. You know what I mean? But I'm being drastic, but at the same time, what I'm saying is like, there's a fine line to where it's recruitable. Yeah. Okay. And it's unforgettable.
Yeah.
And that's another line of the verses that we can kind of go down as well as we promote this conversation of intent versus content is also recruitable versus unforgettable.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
you know what I mean, for sure.
And I guess so we're kind of blending right now athletes and trainers.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'll play the other side of it for a little bit. Where I do think that there's some value in both of them, just kind of depending. And I think that the main thing is that as long as what you're doing has real intent, so like that is the baseline. So I do agree with that. I'll shout out one guy that I think does an amazing job at it. He's over there at Ambassador Jones.
Yeah,
and like he posts a lot, but he posts a lot of really good content. I remember like seeing him. Like he had his team doing just running a Spain read, and then after that he go like because sometimes his clips might be like 2 or 3 minutes, but he's going through then the read for every single progression, and then he's making sure each player gets the rep of that shot and or that pass, and
that's development.
And but he posts a lot, but. What I think he just had with RJ, they was doing like the telephone booth series. And so now he's kind of doing like the mellow jab, almost what is that? Kind of like a foul line extended esque mid post, and the progression of that. And like you'll see him do the pick and roll reads. You'll see him do, and I think that he puts out a lot of content that honestly he probably could keep in his back pocket, but. To me, it seems like he's for educating the overall basketball community. And I do see a lot of value in how much he posts and how he also uses it inside of a really slick way to promote the kids also.
Right.
So like, it's never like a space where it seems like he's exposing the kid, but he's always highlighting what my point guard Jude is working on.
Right.
Or he's great with
that. He's great.
Like RJ is like he's coming off these down screens. You see his footwork. We're drilling in on this.
Yeah.
Or I think matter of fact today, LJ he had him and he was like, is he who do you think he is? Draymond or something like that. And it had him pretty much in LJ. He's a shout out to EA Prep. He was an EA Prep kid 2 years ago, I want to say.
Yeah.
And he's maybe like 6'5", 6'6". Maybe he's like 6'5". I think he's like 6'5".
Talking about Jeremiah.
Yeah, my bad. I said LJ. But yeah, Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Jeremiah got nice size too.
Yeah. But now they got him going through progressions with the reads, with the big off the pick and roll. And I think that there's really, really good intent and content that's coming out of that.
Yeah, and I'd say this too, man. For y'all watching, we're not. I don't think that we're totally against posting because we get promoting your brand.
Oh no, for sure.
But make your post match when we see your players. Let it add up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like I'm seeing that. I'm hearing what you're talking about. I see it. We're probably gonna see a lot of good things from these players too this year, just from seeing what he's posting.
No, for sure. No, I mean, and you are totally right, bro. We're not against posting. Promoting any of that. All I'm saying is there are those, and we've seen the videos, the cone drill videos that don't make sense, that don't translate. Make your content be intentful to where I can share it, I can use it, I can promote it to someone else, a different trainer, myself, even implement it to what I'm doing, because we're all, in a sense, those who train, we're all. I ain't gonna say stealing, but
everybody's taking
observing each other and finding ways to see what you're doing, to how I can help it translate to what I'm doing. And that's the beauty of it. It's not about gatekeeping. It's more so like, oh damn, he doing that. You know what? If I add that to this, what I'm doing, hey, I can, So there's no way in which we're saying that someone is like wrong or doing. Nah, for sure. Keep it all together, but keep it intentful to where it can be utilized for future references. That's the main thing.
And and it's momentarily we'll break down some of I guess you would say the like the cone versus concepts and things like that.
For sure.
But I guess if I also go into like the kid spot where I do think that there could be positive like socials, and I think sometimes even just us as like we kind of older heads where understanding the new version of the game, especially as like
it's a different game, bro.
No, it is, and like this is even looping in like the NIL conversation. How Twitter is this amazing search platform that college coaches are really using now to really find kids. Same difference with Instagram. Like the game is changing a little bit, and there's a space where we have to, as basketball facilitators, whether that's your coach, trainer, or whoever, understand how the game is kind of starting to evolve a little bit. And even with the kids, where I think that there's value in building a social presence for sure, because that's his own version of leverage.
For sure.
And this is just depending on whatever level you are as a kid. And that leverage does not get used if you're not good enough as a kid, but it is a different version of leverage that you can yield if all things line itself up. I do think that, as Wayne said, and this is where the intent part comes in. And again, this is where like, don't take even what they were saying, or even where like we're not going against each other. This is just kind of highlighting another side of the coin. But understand also everything that I'm saying. First part is intent, so it has to be intent behind it first. But like if I use an example, I think that some kids do really good things where maybe even it's a daily post, but it checks off the box of what kind of needs to be done. Shout out Marcus Kerr. I thought he did a really good job. Where he wouldn't show himself like working out really ever. Maybe he'll show like himself shoot some free throws, and he'll show them shoes. And that was that's how like. But you've seen it every single day.
The gym, the ball, the shoes,
and you've seen it every single day. And you can't say the work's not happening.
And you saw it at 5 o'clock in the morning.
5 a.m. It was a timestamp, gym, shoes, shot, and that was it. And I thought that's a great way, especially if you're just an auxiliary coach, and like you're looking to say, all right, he's okay, and not saying it specifically about him, but like he's okay. I want to see if he's working. If he's working, I can believe in him and give him that offer, or give him a little bit more interest, and just that series and different little small things. I don't think that I also wouldn't say that as an athlete or a coach or a trainer, you should probably give all of like everything that you're doing. So like as a kid, you shouldn't be live streaming every single session. That's like the extreme of it. But I do think that there's a happy median when it comes down to it. Wayne, talk to me.
No, it is a happy medium when it comes to it more than anything else, because as you see, it does serve a purpose. Like it does promote kids. It does put them on a different level, a different platform they may have not been on without posting. And I'm starting to see that firsthand with my own child. It's more so it's like, oh, okay. I see some of the things that are being viewed based on just being posted. And, his mom does a good job of keeping things active, live, and up to date when it comes to posting things, and along with himself. But I feel like more than anything, it does provide an opportunity to where he is being seen by a different audience he may have not been seen without posting.
It's real relevant.
Relevant. And I feel like that's the fine line that goes along with that. It's more so it's just like putting yourself in a position to where you understand what's going on, you understand why it's going on, understand how to keep it going on.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, I feel like right now they're in a position, I'm talking about not only just Zai, but him, QJ, and Cam, and just the whole group is like, Zai had a little interview. He said, they sleeping on us. You want to wake them up. That's the beauty of where they are right now. It's like, that's the unknown. And when you embrace that part and embrace the work that go into it, you can produce different aspects, different results than you can actually, plan for.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's where they are right now. But just in the general sense of just all teams, it's more so like, hey, it's an open season right now with the new alignment, the new 7A, 8A, 6A is like it provides opportunities for teams that may not have had opportunity to really get into it and really, represent for their school and themselves as well. So I'm looking forward to all the things that's going to present itself this year. But even with the content that's going to be put out via all these schools, it's going to be, amazing, especially within this Power 6 conference to where all these teams, there's no night off.
Yeah. Trey, I guess I thought of you before we get deep into the conversation. What Wayne was that? What's your thoughts?
I'm be honest, man. Just with the whole the scale of things, I would say, out of all of it, when these kids are, training or these trainers are training, again, and I mean, I've already said it, like, let's start seeing. I think I seen like a clip of Kenyon Martin talking about it. It was a viral clip. Him just talking about like trainers are a money grab, and I feel that, and again I support the brothers out here that's can turn basketball or training into a business, and I support that, but let's start digging in a little bit deeper with these kids and studying and forcing them to play on their weaknesses. You still see a lot of kids that can't even go with their weak hand, and I enforce that. That's something like I work on. If I got a gym full of right hand players, we're going to do a lot of full court dribbling drills and layups with the offhand. And then even when I'm coaching them, I had a kid today. Shout out to Marcus. He's coming along. I told him in a full court transition situation, man, use your left hand, and he did it. And and his dad was happy because he's like, man, I've been telling him. Only way he gonna figure it out is if he actually do it in the game. And I'm that coach to tell him, look, let's do it in the game. Like it's fall league. Like we ain't counting wins and losses. You know what I'm saying? Like we really trying to get the kids better more than anything. So my advice to you trainers is, really like go to these kids' games. I think, that might have been like our first one of our first podcasts, just talking and telling you guys, like, if you're gonna train these kids, like really see how they play, really see what they need to work on, and then apply what they need to work on, and then enforce in the games what they need to work on. You know what I'm saying? If it's getting downhill, don't worry about them turning the ball over 4 times, 5 times. Like make them get used to the unnorm. I got another kid, Cloud. Shout out to Cloud. He trains with me, and he's always been the kid that they'll put in the corner and make him shoot. But with me, I'm like, no, you gotta get downhill. Like you're not the most athletic, but you gotta learn how to put your body in between somebody, get downhill, and make a layup too, or get a paint touch and make a kick for somebody else.
Right.
So like that's the stuff I'm teaching with my young kids. Everybody a point guard. Everybody is. I don't post kids up. If a kid post up, if you see a kid play with me, 6th, 7th grade, and you see him post up, he's already been taught that. I don't teach that. I'm teaching guard skills. So kids big, we handling the ball, we get into the rack. You know what I'm saying? So, trainers, man, that's just my advice to y'all, man. Just, I get the promotion, the posting videos, because I post a lot and I'm not against that. But when I see your kid, I shouldn't see him looking like he ain't never worked on dribbling before. Right, and I'm seeing that. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah. All right. So I guess this would be a perfect time to kind of start segue into some of the meat of the conversation.
Yeah.
So I'll start off fairly broad. What does a productive? What does a good training session look like?
I would say it depends on the kid.
Okay.
So right now,
and we'll break it down by age in a little bit.
Yeah.
But like if you just be broad, just starting off broad, and then we're gonna get really, really specific by age, by demographic, by not demographic, by age, by skill set.
Yeah.
But just generally speaking, if I give like an example, back in the day, Ed, he gave like a good example of how he frames his practices. He does the 4-quarter thing.
Yeah.
Well, like that's his concept. Do you have a concept of what you think a good training session is, or is it kind of?
And shout out to Ed Cook, like that took that 4 quarters. Me and you both was kind of giving that concept, and I train like that. But I with a training session is different from a practice session. In a training, I always start off again. Everybody does a dynamic warm up. You some high knees, butt kicks, all that. But I actually handle the ball, and I took a page out of Phil Handy's book of stack dribbling. So we made, and it's just to get the guys to be able to handle the ball all types of ways. They might not do all these moves in a game, but what you're teaching them is how to handle the ball. It's called ball handling. So then I will progress from doing this stack dribbling. We might start off with one hand crosses and then one hand cross, double cross between the leg behind the back and stack and just get them, building them up, just building confidence. Confidence is everything in basketball. Yeah. So I build that, but then I'll get to game stuff. So after I do that and do all that, then I'll bring them back to reality. All right, ISO moves. These are a couple of moves that we could use one-on-one. Do this. We're going to play off of 2 feet, jump stop, step through, or pivot out. And that's what I'm big on that right now, playing off of 2 feet. So I'm telling my guys 2 feet, we're going to do that. So that's how I stack from there to there to, all right, we might work on this drill that incorporates getting downhill, pitch to the corner. There go a shot. You empty out on the next one. You drive up, then kick it back. I'm adding simulation stuff. Then there'll be 2-on-2, 3-on-3. Like, so I kind of like, I got a formula, you understand what, how I do it. Yeah. And my group session ain't just tween. Nah, we'll do some of that in the beginning just to get them. And then we zigzag drill. So they know how to handle the ball and the guy know how to play defense. And from the zigzag drill, then we'll really, run off of a concept. And that's how I train. Now, when I first started, I was a tween. God, but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But again, as you study your craft, you study the game as a coach, you want to ask yourself, every kid that I touch, do I impact them? Do I make them better? Yeah. If they didn't make their team, did they make their team the next year? And my checkbox, yes. Any kid that haven't made a team before they met me, when they come meet me and they grind with me, they make their team. I got a good track record with that. I'll pat myself on the back. But outside of that, outside of that, bro. I mean, that's what I do.
Gotcha. All right, I throw it to you, Wayne. So again, starting broad, and then we'll break down like by age, by skill level X, Y, Z. But for you, what does a good training session look like?
A good training session is incorporated with a lot of different things. Just in a general sense, we're not going to go by grade level, skill level, anything of that nature. It's more so just introducing the kids to many different things. So for me, I start off with a series of ball handling, a series of just getting familiar with the ball itself. So maybe around the back touches, around the head, around the ankles, just old school things that really get you familiar with handling that ball. And then we build into different ball handling things. We build into a defensive thing. We build into form shooting, how to shoot, when to shoot, off the dribble, catch and shoot, footwork. So I feel like a good training session addresses all those things. It keeps it at a very fundamental level to where they're able to grasp the concept of how to play the game the right way. Even with the elite training, there's still those moments to where it's still a very fundamental, basic thing of what we do.
Wayne, I want to say something. What you saying that?
Yeah.
I see a lot of kids that's good,
Yeah,
but they're not fundamentally good.
Yeah.
So that what you saying is it sounds simple and basic, but it's very important now. That stuff that you're saying.
A lot of times when I tell a kid they're about to train with me, I let them know it's like, understand this. We're about to do a lot of very basic things at a very elite level.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like what happens is people skip the steps of training or even absorbing or absorbing the game in a manner that skips the steps of just the fundamental things that make you successful. Like, you know, you want to go, if you go back to, you know, even Jordan, Kobe, even Curry, even high level college players, like what they do at a very high level is very fundamental, very basic.
So actually, one of the questions does deal with fundamentals. I guess we want to address the guy right here that asked the question, Mason Franklin. Shout out to you. Shout out to the chat. Listen, chat, engage with us, we'll engage back. We're gonna have some fun. You know, if y'all get active, we'll throw a call in. If y'all want to come chat with us for a little bit towards the end of the show, we'll love for that as well.
Yeah.
IG. Shout out to the IG chat as well. Throw your questions in. If you want to call in, head over to the YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. But yeah, he says so. No one trains on the other things anymore. Vertimax, ladders, weights. We got a question that's going to address your exact question. But before then, Wayne. So you're speaking about the fundamentals.
Yeah, for sure.
So what are the fundamentals? This is like a term that's thrown out and it's kind of vague and a lot of people don't know and understand. What would you consider specifically the fundamentals?
The fundamentals, for one, begin with footwork.
Okay.
You know, how to defensively slide, how to maneuver to cut a player off, to defend your basket, to wall up, to not use your hands to reach in, even from the footwork of how to even step into a jump shot. Those are the fundamentals.
Right, left versus left, right.
Right, left versus left, right. As far as finishing on the layup, how to do even a basic dribble from one baseline to the next baseline. It takes 40 dribbles. You know what I mean? Teaching those things, teaching that if I can just go forward fast and no one stopped me, I don't need a crossover. A crossover is a counter. And then there are different counters to that. Then there's a crossover, there's a between the legs, there's a behind the back. You know, so there are many different things that you can mention on the fundamental level that need to be learned and perfected before you begin to have 3, 4, 5 dribble combinations. They're the simple fact of how to catch and shoot or catch and head fake and then step through for one dribble pull-up. Before I teach a kid how to step back,
and that's hard for a lot of kids. We working on that. That's what you just said, that pump fake and getting the butt down. And
now I'm gonna tell you this: what was hard for a lot of it's hard for a lot of parents.
Yeah,
and by that meaning the simple, the basic, the boring. You get into the gym, you be at wherever you at. And them kids is drilling the snatch back, pull back, double step 3. And that's what they drilling.
Content.
And it's like
content.
And this is even with like ain't no cameras rolling.
But
that's like they learned
content for the mind.
Yes. And they learned how to train based off of content.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that is kind of like, we ain't gonna say the nasty part, but it is the nasty part. It's like if you're going into gyms and you understand like the development and the blocks, and then sometimes you might see like y'all in the gym, but it's what you doing going to work and or translate in anything that's going to be more than maybe you get that opportunity to do that specific move 1 out of 7 games that you play.
For sure.
Shout out to it says Juju Wright. Thanks for the podcast Thanks for a podcast like this. You guys are giving very informative information, and you will help the players in the long run.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, we
sure.
Shout out to the chat. We appreciate you. Shout out to everybody that taps in, logs in, not logs in, subscribes. Yeah.
And please comment, and subscribe. My bad, Wayne.
Sure. No. You good. What I was going to say to carry on what he's saying is like, being in that gym, and that's why I made the comment content, and not necessarily mean that you're filming, but the content and what you're training to do. Does it translate versus the intent of going to the gym and working on specific things that translates to success? You know what I mean? I can go in the gym and I may not record, but I'm doing all contentful things. The step back, the between the legs, all that. But I haven't even mastered just catching and shooting. I haven't mastered the footwork from different sides of from coming from wing to top. Which step should I take?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Left wing to the top of the key, right wing to the top of the key. What footwork does that look like? To where you have these kids do a head fake and a dribble. It's like it's a walk every time. And then you're wondering like, oh, no, you just the parents. Now you just picking on my kid. Terrible. No, fundamentals.
That's what I'm drilling right now. That's what you talking about.
Fundamentals. You know what I mean? Those are the things that translate to all levels. No matter where you want to play, when you want to play, what you want to play. You have to be fundamentally sound to play the game at a high level. That alludes to the ability to become elite. Think about that.
You got to have great feet.
The fundamental things alludes to the fact to how to be the elite. You can't be elite without any fundamentals.
Yeah, no, I agree. And shout out to anybody. Again, I'm sure we all have like the stories where like it's somebody that pulls up on you like, hey, you Wayne?
Yeah.
Or whatever. And yeah, if you over on this side, I done had it a couple times where like I'd be like, hey, you cute. And I'd be like, yeah, it's bald under here. But because I be in there sweating with that bald head. I be sweating with that bald head.
You had to throw that in there.
Because I always got the hat on. But then they be having, is that Coach Q? But yeah. But saying that to say, if you ever see me and QJ inside the gym, like it's rare, and maybe once we get conceptually to a point in the workout, I'll kind of allow him. I'll take the reins off, and it's like this is the concept we're working on, and be free within this. Challenge yourself with your handle, and like, but this is how we're finishing it with this specific thing. But before then, like we're doing very boring things. So again, whether it's the catch, rip, pound, footwork for left, right, going right. And then even off of that, if you're going pound, 2 dribbles, and what you'll find a lot of times, a lot of kids can rip, pound, 1-2 shot. They can't take 2 dribbles and do the same thing. It's really
we're working on that, kid.
But you'll be like, the kids can be really good. Very specifically, 2 dribbles going right and left. They really can't do it. Like it's the feet. You'll be really surprised at that. But then like again, inverted, because like again, we all know that the hezzy into it. A lot of kids naturally do that, but like that's like 1 dribble, 2 dribble, being able to go left, right, and right, left, going both ways is really important.
Or just pulling from the right, Q. Like I talk to my guys about it. Like we all have played a form of basketball, but just you being a right-hander, dribbling down, pulling from the right hand feels different from pulling out from the left hand. Well, I like coming from the left, creating and pulling with the right hand. Versus,
you're right about that.
Yeah, and I think that even with that, a very intentional and specific thing that, and again, we're gonna dive even more deeper into it. But even if we're going right hand 1-2. I throw from both sides because and even if you're even like with my son, if he's shooting, like let's say we're doing 15 makes from top of the key, just based off that, we're doing 7 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm passing the ball 7 times until you make 7 on one side
Mm-hmm.
and then 8 on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of the catch, pull, shot feels
Mm-hmm.
different.
Mm-hmm.
Just depending. But then you got to do that with the rips too.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, most people aren't fundamental on both sides of it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, fellas,
I
just wanted to throw a little bit.
No, you right about that though, bro. Like really, it takes for me, I do a lot of bad passes.
Okay.
So I throw the ball, left, right, up high, down low, because it all comes to a muscle memory of how to catch and do what you do.
And line it up, right? Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So the ball is not going to always be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Not as big.
You know what I mean? So throwing different type of passes, different levels of where the pass may be caught, thrown, how you got to step to the side here, catch it high, get your feet right, even low. Because, what happens is if you're expecting a perfect pass, you get frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
Right. This is the fact. And when I imagine even before you get there, you probably drill, for example, coming off of pin downs, what your feet should look like.
Oh, no, for sure.
And then eventually you're gonna start throwing them bad passes. But like just say a pin down, if you're coming off a pin down and you're running to the corner, making sure your feet is good.
Yeah.
If you're coming like a person is setting the screen and you're denying the screen as the off ball person, what does that look like? What is the proper footwork? And a lot of times these are like very specific things, especially if you were big or if you played on ball that you don't develop. Mm-hmm. And these are very fundamental things to just like the game itself.
Oh, no, for sure.
Wayne.
Well, I would say with us is with any kid I'm training when it comes to shooting, we actually go through, I think this was so it's about 4 or 5 different variations off the pin down we work on that we try to perfect. Mm-hmm. And it's at all different levels. It's for those setting the pin down and for those coming off of it. Mm-hmm. It's understanding that, and like I say, both sides coming off and coming on, it's like, if I'm on down, I'm getting the pin down and I go back door. If I'm the one setting the screen, how do I pop back out? Mm-hmm. It's more so if I curl, do I replace, understanding the whole 2-man of it and the placement of it. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of different things we work on, how to catch it, where to catch it, the footwork that's implied with that, how to be effective out of it. If there's a head fake, if there's a blitz, if there's different things that we work on that really can take up to a whole hour, 2 hours itself, which kind of goes into, I'm pretty sure we're going to get in is like the whole training regimen. So where we're no longer at a full, everything training is more so very specific training to where, we're able to address 1 to 2 hours on just certain things, getting a lot of reps doing the basic things, off the pin, down the curl, the fade, the different things of rejecting the screen. How do I play off that? If they go up under the screen, they go top of the screen. So there's many different aspects we work on throughout the whole training regimen to help build, to being not necessarily perfected, but very elite at what you may do.
Right. Nah, I agree. Trey, anything before we keep moving?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that, Q. Shout out to Dabble and Prize Picks.
My Dabble Sweeney?
No, Dabble's a little bet now.
How
does Mekhi Frazier have 1 rushing yard all game? Vegas, y'all got to stop this. I'm going to make a shirt. It's going to boycott Vegas. We going to take a stand. All the guys out here betting, I'm on y'all side. We got to win sometime. Vegas, y'all got to stop that shit, man.
Hey, listen, I'm going to be the responsible one. Listen, put the phone down. Enjoy the sport. You ain't got to bet on it.
Yeah, you do, man. We want some of that money, man. We want some of that money, Q.
All right. So going to Mason Franklin 410. Going to his specific question. So fellas, is developing athleticism early more important than developing skill?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
What I will say is, and I think we all can contest to this, the kids that have played multiple sports
Okay.
and have been more athletic outside of basketball are those who actually thrive earlier than those who just specify one sport.
And when we say multiple sports, we talking football, right?
Well, football, track,
Soccer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know a lot of the soccer guys.
Well, the soccer thing puts a lot of conditioning, footwork. That, like,
I'll say this one.
I understand what you're saying. I just know the football guys. You can tell them football guys.
No, so I'll give you a prime example, and I love to talk about this kid because he's amazing. Sequel.
Yeah.
Sequel was a star soccer player and football, along with basketball and track.
Oh, I get that. I think that he was a star athlete because
footwork on that
he was
soccer
an
field as
ATH.
well came and benefited as well.
You got to think about soccer, guys. I'm glad we talking about this, right?
I ain't rolling.
It might,
but I'm listening.
Look, it might seem boring, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is where I can attest to it. I have two babies that I just let play the first time. This is their first sport, recreationally, and they played soccer. And just with no really like intense training, I've seen them get faster and move better on their feet because it's a game of just using your feet. You can't use your hands. You got to focus on your feet. And this is without training. And I've seen my little man, which I thought he ran real robotic. I let him play flag football. And I'm like, man, he's stiff. Like he run like a robot. But like we down to the last week in soccer and like he's running faster. My baby running faster. So I'm just saying, guys, if y'all watching, dads, if y'all watching, even if the kid don't want to do it, I would say get them in it. And it can help them like with the endurance part of it because the field long, but the feet is the real important thing.
Yeah.
You know, the foot part of it. Yeah, man. Like get them in it for a year.
No, I dig it. And I'm not like specifically opposed to it. I do think if we use like Sequel, Sequel is a special athlete, no matter like whatever sport he's touching, they're blessed to have him as an athlete.
Yeah,
sure.
And like that's kind of like Sequel's thing, but I also think that we'd all be lying if we said that when you seen Sequel play, you couldn't tell he was a football kid.
Yeah,
it's a certain different dog that that you was like
when I speak on soccer, I speak to that supports those who play football, basketball, and other sports.
Yeah,
not saying that's the directive, or derivative that equates to being good, but more so like.
I put it at
soccer 3. Soccer does give a certain foundation and basis on footwork. That can't be denied.
And I would say I think that the bigger the player, also soccer benefits a lot more. Especially like big men with the feet. I think that it's really good. Like I'll put it as 3rd on the sports, where I think football, track, then soccer. If I was to go down the line of like,
that makes sense.
Like if we're speaking about like how quickly and easily it translatable, but we're steering off the question a little bit. Trey, do you think skill or athleticism? And again, this is coming from what's that guy named Mason Franklin? He said Vertimax ladder weights. Should you train these other things? Right?
Yeah, I'll say do both.
And I understand, but if there was like a more of a bigger emphasis put on one or the other, what do you think? Do we? What's the question?
I would say
is developing athleticism early more important than developing skills?
I'll say this: it's the kid, because we know naturally some kids are athletic.
Okay,
just from the genes, so you wouldn't have to spend time with just. Putting that kid on you can wait till high school to get them on a plyometrics box to get them jumping out the gym. Some kids just naturally. So
let's take it out of like we had a kid, Savion, natural athlete.
Yeah,
built like this. We was just talking about Sequel, natural athlete.
Yeah.
Let's go with the average kid, just average. If we just go baseline. And like it's somebody that's like middle of the road, like they could pick up a little bit skills, a little bit of athleticism. But if you was to focus a little bit more on one or the other.
Yeah, no, my answers stay the same because I got a kid right now, right, that comes and work out with me, but he's naturally weak. The first session I seen him, I told his dad how he shoots. I was like, you need to get him in with a trainer. I know one, like work on his body, even if it's him doing push-ups or like learning how to like push up some weight and get upper body strength. Like you can see it, like how he passed the ball. It's bad. But I told his dad after the first time I seen him. So I mean, but I wouldn't say that to another kid that I have in that, and they're the same age, because this kid naturally is stronger than him and can shoot a shot without winding up or whatever. Like he could just get up under it and shoot it. I would just say find a balance with a kid like that, with a kid like the one I'm talking about, that is naturally weak. Yeah, I think he would have to work on his body, and have some type of regimen to do it. But it's still, to me, my answer don't change. It's the kid. Like you look at.
So you feel like it's athleticism?
No, he's. I think Trey's kind of sitting in the middle of it. Oh,
yeah, I'm sitting in the middle of it, but I'm saying like I wouldn't.
Wayne, tell him get off the fence and choose a side.
No, but I'm saying like, because
let's say get off the fence, but at the same time, think about this right here. And this gives you a whole kind of background of things.
Yeah.
Was it better? And it's gonna sound crazy.
Right.
Was it better your son be skilled or your son be athletic?
Skill first.
That part. Yeah. So you're not on the fence then.
Yeah.
But
I was trying to answer the question.
No, I feel what you're saying though. When you put in a very personable mindset, it's like, no, think about what we did with our own kids.
Yeah.
We made sure they had skill first and allowed the athleticism to come later.
Yeah.
But that's being able to play the game and understand the game at an early age up to now has allowed now the athleticism to be just a token above to what they do.
Well, I would say just give the kid a day. Like if you're gonna do this basketball thing, right? Give a kid a day to work on his body. If you want to answer, like give him a day to work on running or work on, and then he have 2-3 days where he in the gym. So now he's getting a little bit of the best of both worlds instead of just getting just straight skill work, and then you got to catch up with athleticism later. Give him some of it now. Give him a little bit of it now.
I got you.
That's what I would say.
I'm gonna hop on the other side of it where, like personally, I think that I'd probably go with, if I was to redo it again, I would start with athleticism beforehand. And that's like multi-sport. And because again, for example, my son, he picked up skill really quick. But I do think that there's value in, like, you can always point out the football kid. You can always point out like the track athlete, the one that's faster, that understood how to run earlier. And to me, you see it jump early, and you see it translate middle, high school. Like that's one of those things that translate. In comparison, we all done been on Instagram for about at least 10 years, 10, 12. I don't know. Like however
the kid that can dribble 3 times behind the back was
at 2 years old, the most skilled, like second grader, first grader ever. I don't see him anywhere. A lot of these kids, like there's a rare few. Shout out Baba. He one of them guys that we done seen, but he's blessed with a certain different level.
But I think that also too.
But I think that there's, in my opinion, there's more benefit to being and learning athleticism earlier, because of, even when we look at our kids and what training looked like 10 years ago, in comparison to what it looks like now, and it's just different. Right. Even what the focuses are, even, like a lot of, and of course, I think that learning the basics is cool. But
I'm looking at both of y'all kids though. I'm looking at both of y'all kids though. I think that all that you said too, and some of these kids is not being seen no more. We all know metrics come into play with that. Y'all kids grew at the right time. Kahari did too. They had already had IQ. They knew the game. And they're getting better skillfully, and y'all working on their body now because they're maturing and they're young men. I don't think that recipe is bad.
I don't think it's a bad recipe.
But if the answer,
I think the kids there's a lot of kids that get recruited on body first.
Yeah.
Well,
and like sometimes you could end up being like the skills not necessarily there.
Right.
But they jumping out the gym.
So you telling me you would rather have a big rip Q right now than you working on his skills now?
I think that if
I feel like it's a fine line.
Yeah, and of course I think it's a fine line. But what I would say is that if I could do it differently, I mean, if I did it over, I would do it differently. Primarily because of I think that if you have a really good foundation of like athleticism and strength, there's so many. Like, let's take shooting for example. Your kid doesn't really get to their final version of shooting until probably high school, really. Like they're going from the hip, then it's from the chest, then finally they're strong enough to get here. In comparison, think about like all that form shooting that you was doing in elementary school. If you was training that into like proper running fundamentals, proper like plyos and jumping technique and things like that. I think that proper like certain little things that, in my opinion,
I don't know, Q. I watched a dude talk. I don't want this to turn into a debate, but I watched a college coach. No, yeah, but I watched a college coach on a viral clip talk about how he won't even touch kids right now if they don't have certain things in they shot right now. He can help them shoot it better, but you got to have a foundation that you started a little early on. At least the basics before you get
but I imagine he's talking about like a high school kid, right?
But it's like, but you got to start early. From what I'm hearing, you is like you would rather.
Well, I'm not saying
tap into the body and all that, and then show them how to shoot
because of like. All right, so I'm also not saying never work on form shooting at all.
Oh,
but if I was to put an emphasis on a thing, though.
Yeah. So you would do more. You would do more body stuff.
Yeah, I'd do more ladders, more vertimax, more like. Truthfully, even if we get away from like weight training, it'd be like more fundamentals of athleticism. With like very specific running, like running technique, the things that they call sports performance now. I would put a bigger emphasis on that because of, again, I think that even if you start really honing in on like technique, say 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, like by 9th grade, like, and again, you just have like a consistent regimen of it. I think that those things are skill that you can learn, especially if as a dad or a trainer, you're informed on it. Yeah. There are certain things with like the body and athleticism that takes years.
In other words, audience, run track for 2 years.
This is just me. This is
no. That's what I'm saying. Early on, get them with a track team. No, but that help.
I feel like what he's saying is more so the different levels of different sports help build into a body of worth that's elite.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and
you know what I mean. So it's like track. It's not saying don't do what you did before, but incorporating some other sports at times where you may have continued on with just basketball stuff could be beneficial.
Yeah.
So that means like in the fall versus playing a fall league basketball, shit, he could have played
soccer. What I'm got my
with the soccer or play football.
Yeah.
Shout out Bryce Gary. They ran cross country.
Cross country.
When he came back, he was tapping the bottom of the rim. This was like maybe he was like 6th grade. He was one of the first kids. Like, shout out Bryce. Yeah. Like if you never like Bryce is our guy. Bryce be chilling, but if you ever got him to start doing like athletic things, he was one of the more athletic kids. Early. Anytime we ran sprints, he finished first. He was never the first one off the blocks, but he just was so consistent. By the end of the
shape more than anything.
Yeah. By the end of it, touching the rim, he was the first one of the guys. He was one of the first guys that was grabbing the rim and stuff like that.
One of the smaller guys. Yeah.
He's still
like North? The smaller guys.
Is he still at North?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
But yeah,
shout out to Bryce. That's one of the.
That's big shot Bryce all day every day. You know what I mean? It's one of the kids that from a coaching standpoint, I can always say him and his dad and his family was always bought into what was going on. I would say that's probably Zai's actually most long-standing teammate. Especially when it came to Team 90. I mean, he was there from 2nd grade all the way to the end when we, kind of disbanded 7th grade, 8th grade though. But yeah, Bryce never missed a year.
Yeah,
not that.
Very
Thick and
consistent.
thin, the bad, the good, the great, the worst. He was always there.
Oh yeah, that's what you need.
And a kid like that, who's Bryce is well rounded in many different other aspects of life.
Yeah,
he speaks about 3 or 4 languages.
Mm-hmm.
Bryce plays golf.
Mm-hmm.
Bryce trades. You know what I mean? Like he's on a whole different level of life that most kids can't even fathom.
Mm-hmm.
And just shout out to that kid itself as far as how he's grown, matured.
Mm-hmm.
Went from being so standoffish to now he's more sociable.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But just seeing these kids grow up in many different ways, he's one of the ones that kind of stood out from a different perspective.
Got it.
And I would always allude to that. It's like, y'all don't realize, like, y'all are sitting around a kid that literally trades stocks, a kid that speaks different languages, a kid that plays golf. When y'all worry about 2K, he out there they ain't gonna worry about at the driving range, worry about getting the shot right.
Y'all
Bryce,
worried about 2K.
something.
He trying to bring in 2K.
Bryce, let me hold something.
Yeah,
right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I guess we've kind of talked through it a little bit. Like we've had some fun conversations with the athleticism versus skill. Let's talk about it. The guy brought up age. We brought up age. What are some differences when it comes down to training per age group? Let's break it up: elementary, middle, and high school. Fellas, thoughts?
Well, I mean, the younger you start, the more fundamental it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The more boring, as the older kids may say, that the training should be.
Mm-hmm.
It should be very, very repetitive on very fundamental aspects of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's from an offensive and a defensive perspective. Understand on defense where to slide to, off ball defense, you 2 passes away, where should you be? Like those things should be driven into kids' head at a very early age, men and women. And what happens is, people want to skip steps and train 5-year-olds how to go tween, cross, and they're barely getting the ball up to the rim on a layup. Why are we not teaching
do that one?
Yeah, why are we not teaching just right, left, right?
Right.
Why are we not teaching right, left for us catching the ball on this side, right, left, right, catching, shooting, chair drill. What I mean by chair drill, you catch it, you head fake, and got to literally, there's a chair there. So you learn how to actually step, bring the ball around before you travel, and take a step and dribble. Like, versus let's teach a kid how to do a 5 dribble combination. Like, what is that benefit for that kid when they turn 12, 13? Oh, they've been the great trainers, far as the name wise, but what have they learned? What have they obtained? What have they, garnered to help them be better at a very fundamental level?
Content versus intent.
That part. So, at a very young age, it should be very intentful of being fundamental. The very basic, like they say, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. That's not complexity. No, keep it very, very basic, very, very simple to where now kids are very able to understand the game at a very fundamental level. And as that continues, now I add counters. Now I add a play, a head fake and a jab to the opposite direction. As they get older, now you begin to add the counter to the counter. Now you begin to add the IQ of why you're doing it. You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of kids do moves. If you ask that kid why you did that move, I don't know. I practiced it at the cone. Versus understanding why we snatch back. Where's your shoulder placement? Where's the ball placement? Like, I'm very intentful as far as when I train everything. Understanding why, like, so what do we do first to equate to us having to step back between the legs? Did we just dribble and head fake and pull up first and make 5 of those? Now, like, I have to create something different? Or did we just actually rip through, snatch, and shoot the ball at a bad shot and the kid there the whole time?
Right.
Intent over content. You know what I mean? So very intentful have been very fundamental at the younger ages and even up to the elite age. Like, literally, Torrin Doran, Nick Dorn's older brother, played in the league, played overseas, played at NC State. He comes to Chambers and you see him work out. It's very basic, fundamental things. It ain't what you may think he may work on for a guy that plays overseas. No, it's catch and shoot, catch and rip, step, maybe 1-2 step back or a bump, get to a spot, but it's very basic and fundamental. That's where everything training wise needs to lie at a very elementary level on up.
Yeah, I agree. I don't have no different take on that. Yeah. I feel like the earlier you work on their feet.
Yeah, for sure.
All that stuff you say and passing. Shout out to Zach. Shout out to Zach. Like I told our guys when the fall season started, I was like, man, we pass bad, and he got this drill. He went to Germany for a year or so, and he had got a drill called the perfect pass drill, where you set up 6 players and 2 basketballs, and you teach different types of passes. You tell them to pass to the right, the balls will start in the middle. The guy pass to the right, he'll pass to the right. They'll exchange. So you teaching movement, cutting. You teaching a certain type of pass. And so I stole it from him. Like that's one of the drills I do at practice. But you teach right hand push passes. When you catch, turn with the outside foot or whatever foot, and you teaching them how to turn and use a right hand push pass. Tell them why they're using it. Then you can put. We use the dads one practice, put them in to teach them, positioning on the pass and why we're using the right hand push pass instead of the chest pass for everything. So it's stuff like that, that I feel like at the young age, you teach them guys how to pass, how to fake a pass, make a pass, bounce pass, right hand pass, left hand pass. They need to know how to use the left hand pass. They're not going to always be able to do a chest pass everywhere on the floor. They should be able to offer one bounce, like they flicking it, boom, get it over there and get it to the guy on the left side of the floor. Yeah. So, it's stuff like that at an early age. I feel like those guys should know passing, cutting, knowing why they're cutting, and feet, like y'all talking about, mainly knowing their feet.
And court spacing.
Yep, spacing, right, left gathers, left, right gather, jump stop gather, pro hop gather, all of that stuff.
And I guess what I'd say by age group, if I was to break it down, elementary, middle, and high school, I would say, and this could segue us into this conversation a little bit. I think that cone for elementary, like you're learning a lot of fundamental things. I think concept for middle school, and I think situational for high school. And of course, like you could integrate all inside of them, but like the emphasis on fundamentals at an early age in elementary, like what Wayne said, like the chair drill. There's a bunch of different cone drills where it makes sense that you develop some fundamental knowledges that might be cone driven. I think that concept, when you get to middle school, understanding, like Wayne said, spacing, or moving without the ball, like a few what 5 out looks like, and understanding just like the concept of this, like all the different defensive and offensive reads that comes with it. And then Trey, I think earlier you were speaking about, you was listening to the trainer where I think I might have seen the same video where it's saying like the evolution of how training is happening in the NBA right now is that everything's situational. And so it's like 2 or 3 guys, and there's whoever the player is that's working out, and they're running through their game action over and over and over and over and over. And they're just going through their own personal different reads with that, but it's live action, live bodies. And again, if I'm going like high school, elementary, and middle school, I break it down like that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. That's basically how I do it. But to break it down, if guys are watching, that sounds perfect to me.
Oh no, for sure.
Yeah. Those 3 different levels of those 3 different age groups.
But yeah, I mean, but what never gets lost in the sauce is fundamentals. And that's at every level of basketball, to where if you watch Dirt Train, you watch Steph, you watch the documentaries, the videos, there's a very fundamental fundamental value to what they do before they get to the method of madness that everyone falls in love with. And I feel like that's what gets lost more than anything is that, hey, basketball is a very fundamental game.
Like you saying with Steph's shot, I was telling the kid, I'm like, name a time it looked different. It never looks. It's the same release.
Plays the same.
He don't
way.
even have a how sometimes kids can shoot. Might be down, and one time they may shoot it and the middle finger up and come off wrong. It's the same every time. Every time. I can't think of a time it looked like a shot slipped. It looked like out of all the years he played, I've never seen a shot that looked like it slipped or came out his hand wrong.
Nah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. So I guess we can go with this.
What the chat got going on?
What the chat say? I'll read a couple from Mason. Mason pulled up on us. He's talking with us. Chat, talk to us. I'm gonna drop the call-in link momentarily. If any of you guys have a question for us, we're gonna take it out of the IG DMs and move it into the chat. We'd love to hear y'all voice and hear y'all chat back and forth with us. But Mason frequently said, I think athletics, because of they might not stay at the sport that you taught them the skill.
That's true.
I think fairly yeah. And then shout out, I forget the kid's name, but he played on North Mech last year. He was a basketball kid all the way through and through, but if you knew him, he was an athlete. I think he played football 1 year and picked up a D1 scholarship.
You talking about Kai?
Yeah. Kai.
Yeah,
He was a grind kid, and like sometimes you never know where the blessing is, but if your kid's an athlete, like you see it right now, they are signing kids as ATHs now. Like that's the new thing when you look at college football. ATH, you just an athlete. I could put you a bunch of different places, but because you run really well, you're really speedy, you break down really well. Like there's value just in that. He said those kids that you're referring to are on YouTube showcasing highlights. When you're at the game, you will see if a child is ready. Yeah, I think that we've all kind of witnessed that, where you pull up and be like, damn.
Well, man,
that must have been a very specific highlight you were shooting.
Right. Yeah.
That part for sure.
Okay. All right. So, fellas, so I guess I'll go with this. When do cones have purpose? When don't they? People kill the cones. Get rid of the cones. Are y'all get rid of the cone guys? Are y'all for the cones?
Yeah.
When do cones have a purpose?
I would say like
at a very early age.
Yeah, early. And then like just changing the direction. Like one dribble, maybe one dribble crossover, one dribble between the legs. Just teaching them, change the direction. And footwork, like you said, you can show them, hey, when you come off of this, around this cone, off this pin down, I want you to step right foot, inside foot, and you got the cone there to kind of give them like parameters and places to go to put their feet. So, I mean, early on, I would say, and teaching footwork.
Yeah, I feel like teaching footwork and also just showing spacing on the court. With cones, you are able to show like lanes of what you have the ability to attack versus going outside that cone and where a help side defender may be, where you're not going to be able to come off that and go way wide into the middle lane. Like, no, this is the area off this particular move that you're going to be able to score, and you got to be able to score in this particular setting. So I feel like it's good in that way, but I'm not a fan of cones myself, but I mean, I use them in certain moments to show spacing, show a place of where you should be looking to make a move versus when you pass this cone, okay, it's time to just go for it. So I feel like it serves a purpose as you get more elite, very little, but in the very early stages of training, the spacing, the idea where you're trying to have kids understand where the areas and where the spots are, I feel like they benefit there.
Or just marking spots on the floor.
Yeah,
like
marking spots on the floor to where they able to, you know, identify, okay, this is, you know, so it serves a purpose, but at the same time, when you get to situational training, certain moves, there's no time for cones.
Yeah.
Or a live body is needed.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like there's a space in between to where you can use cones to understand and show an exhibit of what you're giving for those who are visual learners and not, you know, vocal learners. But once you get past that point, it's like, let me pull these cones out. Because what happens is, what I've learned is, the more I use a cone, the more the kid is liable to just run to that cone, run to that space and make a move versus reacting to what may happen, you know, in a live game situation. So, but like I said, it's twofold. You know what I mean? Younger ages, I'm going to give them, you know, the ability to see, you know, where things lie, where they may want to go. The older you get is more so reacting to what the defense is giving you. So I feel like that's the benefit of that, though. But, you know, I mean, hey, teachers on. I feel like the more and more you use cones at a late stage in the development, you're hindering kids versus in the early stages of development, where you're giving them an idea of what is needed to be successful.
Got it. Trey, talk to us. So you're a cone guy. You put them cones out.
Yeah, I do both. I do it, like I said, just depend on the situation. Situation. More like you said, I'll mark areas on the floor, teaching them. I like talking to the little guys just about the spots, top of the key, where's free throw line extended, where's lane line extended. A lot of them don't know that. What's the slot areas? You know, if we 4 out, what's considered a slot area? What is a short corner dunker spot? So I might mark the areas on the floor and, hey, we attacking out of this area today. This is what you'll use in this area. And then I always, if I start off like that, even with the young ones, I'll do we do live stuff. I do a lot of live stuff now. And just teaching like coverages, dribble handoff, how to play the dribble handoff. No, I don't teach over and under first. I teach open and through, and, you know, getting through the gap and, you know, and staying with your matchup. So, you know, I might mark 2 spots on the floor and say, this is where we need to be at every time. Use cones to be and then I'll remove them. And then when we go on live, if they're not in them spots, I'll stop them. Where we supposed to be at? You know, we playing out of this area today. And I move different spots. Like how I train, we attacking from the corner, and I'm like, that's the only spot you attack it from. We attack it from here. You need now to create a shot in this area, you know. So that's what I've started putting into my training and stuff. But yeah, I do both cones and live stuff.
Gotcha. And I guess with me, I'm not heavy on cones, but there is a cone thing that I will do. And this is, again, if I'm not using an obstacle for like pin downs and things like that, because I think that's kind of like an obvious thing. But I think what is it? What is it? Building through basketball, Bobby Dad. And I forget. I've seen it a couple different places, but they do it often. But the diamond on with the cones, you set that up, and with like say if QJ, if we're doing something and just having that diamond, if we're going downhill quick, and whether that's you know, first move counter and then second counter, we're just giving you like quick reactions, and really it's kind of like quote unquote the obstacle. And if we're drilling a skill, and then we'll relate that to like a real body situation. But if at that moment I'm cleaning up his handle and I want to put you in something that's really tight and quick that you got to get downhill through, I'll do that, like the little diamond thing. If y'all understand what I'm saying, where it's like one cone here, 2 cones, and then one, like and then like you'll see a lot of people, maybe they'll come up and do like a tween cross, and then maybe a pound tween, then a step jab or something like that, and then go finish. But I do see a lot of value, especially if you're working on just quick counters to where you're not thinking. So I know with my son, we do a lot of things where we will exaggerate the hard so that you don't think about it in the game.
Gotcha.
And so like we will overdo like certain things because of that's the last thing in a game you should ever be thinking about. So now it becomes natural and it's just like a thing that it's more feel. And so like those would be scenarios where like we can push downhill and like I might not even give you a cone choreography to do. I want you to be creative, challenge yourself, and you're getting downhill and I need you to counter here, and counter out. And then that'll be a place where I see value in cones. But I'm not really a big cone guy.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. I guess as we keep shout out to it. We have our first call in, guys.
Call in. Let's go.
We have Mason Franklin. Mason Franklin has pulled up to us. Mason Franklin, talk to us. I'm gonna pull you up to the stage. If you have a question, let us know. Let us know how you feel. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, man?
What up,
Not
brother?
too much. Not too much.
I gotta turn it. Hold on. Give me a second.
Appreciate you pulling up, though, bro.
Yeah, we get you.
All right, I didn't want to make sure it wasn't echoing in the background because I know how it goes sometimes.
Oh yeah. Mason, where you from, dog?
So I'm from Baltimore. Mason is my son. So
Okay.
Mel, I be watching y'all podcasts a lot. I ran across it just randomly looking up YouTube about just the AAU scene, the independent.
Are you from Baltimore? I could hear that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So y'all came up and I watched a couple episodes. I kind of like these guys, so I'll be dropping gems in there just to see if y'all answer.
Yeah.
For the most
We appreciate
part,
it.
been really hitting me back. I did have some questions though, just like 1 or 2 questions, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But the question I got is, we have a situation here in Maryland where the youth scene is becoming like high school and college, and at some point it's coming as pros, and it's just hitting here hard in Baltimore. So I'm not going to mention the team's name because I really don't like to put people's information out. But I did have a situation with Mason, which is my youngest son.
Okay. What's his age?
I put him through. He is in the 4th grade.
Okay.
So the YouTube page that I'm currently on is his current page that I use. I set up just to basically. I started. Not gonna lie, I got caught up in trying to showcase.
We all have. We all have. Yeah, we get it.
For sure.
Then I ran into a situation where we were doing very well. We started rec. I did exactly how you guys said, except I took the athletic route. I went Vertimax straight. As soon as he can get onto a Vertimax, I put him straight on it.
Okay.
Not to try to dunk, but simple things. Pound dribbles, pound jump step to 2, jump up and down 2 minutes straight for 4 rounds. The passing has helped him a lot with the Vertimax because when he's passing, it's pulling him back. So what I learned was it made him stronger, and it allowed him to be able to compete with 11-year-olds because now he's in the 4th grade, so he's 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, long story short, I took the route with him that was different from my older son with the AAU and put him into PSB, which is like a corporation development / travel.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we got one.
We got one here.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So we did that, and no complaints. Very professional. Actually, it was probably the best when it came to like travel. When I say development wise, because they didn't focus on competition. Skip forward, we get to the next day, next level, which was the team I'm not going to mention. They bring them on. This team said it was an elite team. We signed up. We got on the team. Played, did about 3 practices. 1 game, which was a jamboree. Son didn't get no time, but me as a coach, I understand the process. But then after that game, my son was dropped to development. They picked him against 3 levels. I'm gonna, based on our evaluation with your child made blue, but now we're gonna drop him down to red. But there's a white. Child didn't do that. So my question to you guys is, as a parent, I pulled him off. I said I was misled first off because it's not about him being dropped to development because I know why you dropped him. It was a money play because he's actually good, but you're gonna try to get other kids off of it. But why would you market that? And am I wrong for walking away to say no? I didn't sign up for that. And if I would have known that, I would have stayed where I was at, which was rec ball, and just let him do what he do. And as you see, post his highlights all day.
Okay, all right. So let me ask you this, just to make sure I have clarity, and then I'm gonna toss to our program director. Then we're gonna toss to coach. So you were first. If you could turn your volume down a little bit, we're getting an echo.
My bad.
But so your son was first rec, and that's kind of what you're saying. Like he got it. He cut his teeth there, and then you moved him to PSB. And then this travel team seen him, and then they wanted him, and they offered him the elite spot. He did the jamboree, and then they pushed him down to intermediate. Is that a fair scenario?
Below intermediate.
Okay.
You want to say like rec
beginner
ball with a travel uniform on?
Okay. Program director, talk to us.
I'll say
this. To add that in there. The reason, he also threw the fee in there. There was a fee. I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did.
That was another thing that played the part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was a $2,000 fee. Once I questioned him about what decision he was making, he dropped it to $1,400. I said, bro, stop playing with me because I'm not playing rec ball for travel prices. That's dead. So he tried to offer for free. So then I felt disrespected as a man.
Oh yeah. Oh man,
And you ain't got to do me like that.
Yeah.
Oh no, see, you done gave us too easy of a question.
Yeah. That's
Because listen, we done did we done did the money grab one.
Yeah.
Like you understand now where you're at. So you've answered that. So let's try and answer this if he didn't just give us that information.
Okay.
To where his kid was killing.
Yeah.
And then he went PSB, which is kind of like, like a very standard developmental travel ball where like that's the focus. And you see it's like, in Charlotte, they probably got like 4 PSB teams or whatever.
Yeah.
And then caught the eye. We just pulled up on him and was like, hey,
sold on the dream.
Hey, we need you on this on our red team.
Yeah.
And then he played the jamboree. Well, he didn't even play because he said he didn't play. They just pulled him up.
No, they gave him one game.
Okay, gave him one game. Just quick little in and out, and then dropped him down. Let's just keep it at that.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts as a program director? What would you take from that? Not knowing any of the other stuff.
Not knowing all the other stuff.
Yeah.
No, I feel like, and I think we talked about this before.
Yeah, sure.
Is you did what's best for your situation and your son. I always advocate for if the situation fit, you go with it. If you wanted him to play elite and that was pitched to you, that's what you wanted at the time. Because you could have stayed at PSB for that. You get what I'm saying? So you wanted elite, you wanted to play against higher competition, but then they dropped your kid down to, the rec competition and still want $2,000, which is crazy. I mean, you did the right thing, bro. I'm on your side. You feel me? Like, like at the end of the day, man, like it's your money and it's your situation, and you know what you want for your son. Mm-hmm. I would go back to PSB and let him keep developing because I'm all about development. If you watch this, everything you hear us talk about, we talk about development. It'll be a time where he's gonna get what he's gonna get. Mm-hmm. You done been through this before. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no rush. Huh?
Yeah. I said, especially being a fourth grader right now, the biggest time right now is more so the development, getting better, the fundamentals, you seeing the growth, like we say, and stacking days, brick by brick. You know what I mean? The main thing is getting better each day. Not who you're playing for or who you're playing against, because nobody's gonna go back and reference, in fourth grade I played against. Man, nobody give a damn about that.
Right.
Yeah.
What matters is the growth from 3rd to 4th, 4th to 5th. Also mid-year, day to day, week to week. That's what matters. You know what I mean? Who you playing against doesn't matter in 4th grade.
And I would say this, if I could add anything to what you're doing, bro, and if I could do it all over, I would play my son up all the way into like a high school, and then kind of, because when I used to play him in the YMCA, I would see a difference of when he played with his age, and then when he played up, he actually utilized, because the kids were bigger, so he had to utilize a pivot and the stuff that I was teaching him. But when he played with the kids that was his age, he just run around, and I mean, he was skilled, but he didn't utilize every skill we worked on. When I played him up, he played a little more mature. So I would say play him up in PSB and just let him just become a killer. And then you might could play him up 2 grades after he started getting it. And then then you want to try a team. By this time, he ready. I mean, if I could do it over, that's what I would do.
And if you're playing rec ball, he should never play his age group on rec ball.
Yeah.
Rec ball should play at least 2 age
2 grades up. Yeah.
And I guess, so you said something, Wayne, that I wanted to pick you. All right, so with us, matter of fact, all 3 of us, we play. Our son started 2nd grade, some 1st grade, and they started with the EYBL organization inside our area. And so where, like Wayne, I think you were saying, like it like that title doesn't matter until a little bit later. This is experience talking. So like we've been a part of multiple different organizations that have had like the tag of like, whether you say EYBL, UAA, or Adidas or anything like that. And at 4th grade, the race is really your kid in development, in my opinion, in comparison to where like you can get caught up in the run of making sure that I stay with this specific program for a, like the run of the track. And I don't think that it's important. And I haven't seen that be the route in which, like, we've been in it maybe, like I said, like 10, 12 years or something like that. I haven't seen that be the route that has worked with, maybe other than make 4 kids. Typically, once it gets to high school, you see a different group in there.
And it just is what it is. I say 7th, 8th grade middle school.
Yeah, they start transitioning it out.
Yeah.
And
anything before then,
like if you, and he's 4th grade, so like if you talking 4th grade, like it's like that group right there.
The kids that were good in 4th grade, I don't
go play your kid up a little bit. Go make sure he's getting his confidence. Make sure that he's like doing everything that's going to get on that Vertimax. Yeah, as you saying, like I think that those things, in my opinion, is way more important. And it also sounds like you understood money grab.
Yeah, money. Yeah, that was the biggest part. You understood that money, boy. 2,000.
At the elementary level, man, we ain't gonna ask questions, but I want to ask questions.
Yeah, I know.
But
you in the DMV area, I've been like
that too. So it's on both sides. Like all of it's the same way. Like, when Maryland, the play travel, that's like the standard fee. Truth be told, the 2,080 is cheaper than what I was paying at PSB. PSB.
Oh, not PSB tax. I ain't gonna. I kind of forgot it. What is 2,000? So up there, do y'all still do the monthly installment thing where it's almost like a membership? I knew for a while we knew some kids that was like Takeover in New World or something like that, in which they was paying by month. So it was like every month you just pay like 125, 150 or something like that
to be down with the program.
Yeah, to be with the program or whatever. Are they still doing it like that? And you're saying like the overall fee, or is it? They just want that.
You had to pay it up front.
Like, so we was with Grind Academy at a point in time. Matter of fact, me and Trey, we both coached there. Yeah. And with them, it was we need that 800.
Yeah.
And then shout out to our team moms. Our team moms was like tapping on the doors.
Yeah.
They was making sure they got that money. But which one was it?
So depend on where you at. PSB, they do monthly.
Okay.
They like I said, they good. I can't really say nothing bad for what you pay, bro. They tech. I can't lie to you. They give you exactly what you paying for. Now the other joint, they wanted. All right. So it was a free trial, but right after the trial, you had to pay $165 right off the bat.
Okay.
Then after you pay the 165, they waited 60 days, and then you had to pay 650.
Oh,
Damn.
Then
hang on a
another
second.
So they do 3 installments, and you still got to pay for. Of course, you pay for your uniforms, and depending on which circuit you run into, you might have to pay for the gear because we know Puma circuit, you gotta wear Puma.
Yeah.
And they'll base it off of, all right, we going to the May tournament. We trying to do this. The moment they don't feel as though your kid good or they need to put another kid there, what I felt as though they was like, man, we already got the money. Drop him. We can tell him this. Bring more kids, and if he stays, stay. He don't. Boom. Keep it moving.
Yeah.
So I guess this will be the last question. I think that as a program director, as coach, this is the elephant in the room. So is there a chance that they seen the kid and your son, like, he needed to be at that developmental stage, and then as a parent right now, there's the fight between, sometimes we have that humbling experience where we get the whole I want my kid to be at this level, but he might not be prepared for that level.
Yeah.
Could it be that, or do you think it was like it was
or
just
they were showcasing them?
Yeah. What's your thoughts? This is the hard question. I just asking it. It's needed to be asked.
Are we giving 100, keeping it 100 on here?
100.
Yeah, 100. Yeah.
All right. So peep this. My son played them with PSB. And he put up numbers on it.
Okay.
Now, for a 6-year-old, I mean, not 6-year-old, my fault. A 3rd grader, he was at the time when he played them to average 8 points a game, 4 steals, 2 rebounds, and maybe 2 assists, and do it consistently every game, to me is great. I don't think it's elite, but that shows consistency to where as though I could put that kid on any team and he's going to show up. We may not win, but we'll get a show.
Right.
He did it against him, so he's seen this. Then when I seen him at the training facility where we all take our kids to go train at, that's when he was like, hey, we having a tryout, bring him out. We really didn't even have to try out. He took my name and wrote it on a piece of paper, sent me the email. We only went to 1 trial. He said, you win. And that was it. And then once I was in, we got to the practice. Like I say, I don't want to give too many details because if I give too much, y'all may know who it is.
Yeah. We get it, bro.
Look,
we don't want no friction. We don't want none of that. We don't want to put you in none of that. We get it, bro. We get it. We get it.
But we got to ask the program side questions where so in those workouts, in those practices, was he busting ass?
Was he cooking?
Yeah. So this is the other thing. So they had, this is why I gotta keep it 100. All right. So in the game, he put his stats up. He played them once. He put those stats up. But those stats stay consistent to what he currently do, because I put it in the chat GPT and it tells me every game that he done played.
Yeah.
Now, when we got to the tryouts, he made a team. He did his thing. Then they did a practice. Every practice, they will always make him play defense. I'm a defensive parent. I teach defense to offense. Don't go ask for the ball. Don't cry because they're not passing it to you. Go play defense, get it, go down the court, or you got the ball in the hand and you decide where to go.
Right.
So they couldn't even bring the ball past half court with my son playing defense.
Okay. So he's valuable. Yeah.
He took him out the drill because he was affecting the drill. He couldn't get what he wanted. He was trying to set his plays up and it wasn't working. So my son got took out and sat on the sideline. Practice almost.
Okay.
After that next day, I came in on my way to leave. Actually, we was going back to his practice, but we was just going to get some haircuts. He tells me, yeah, I'm dropping your son down. And then, I'm gonna be honest, I never had a full conversation with the man ever again, because I tried to talk to him man to man, but he just pushed me off. And I was like, all right.
Oh, yeah. Nah. Look, bro, and I'm big on this, right? And this coming from, we laugh and joke, but I run a program, right? And I treat everybody and hear everybody. Now, I don't allow people to manipulate my thought process, but I'm not just going to push you away. I'm going to hear you out. You get what I'm saying? So if he's doing that, you did the right thing. You don't ever be in a program where you ain't got somewhat of a voice. You get what I'm saying? Because even when your kid get to a point where he's elite, they're going to have to hear you, though.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, because it's going to be about if they want your son It's like, look, you got a little bit of leverage. If he elite, you get what I'm saying? So
and I guess let me ask you this last question. So what do you think it is? Do you think it was just politics at play? Do you think that like they I don't know. Again, I'll just ask that question to you. What do you think it was?
Me being a businessman, because I own my own business, I think it's more of the best terminology would be hedging, and not merit based.
Yeah.
You have a core of kids that you had already in mind. My son was supposed to be an add-on, or whoever else you was looking at, they were add-ons. Now that you got him in, if he was going to work, you was going to give it, but you feel as though you got certain other players that you want to keep and not replace him. Replacing him with them ain't really right or fair, but that's how that go in this game.
Oh yeah,
so politics part to it.
Understanding that, I tried to talk to the man like, "Yo, come here, let me holler at you one-on-one." We win. I used to play bro. I played baseball at a D1, so I don't play basketball, but I understand how this go. This level of travel. Nah. I'm like, oh, all right, bet, bro.
Wow. Yeah.
I went to the other dude.
You ain't pay that $650 though, did you?
But he was like, he did the same thing. And the other guy, if I told y'all who said the name,
you gotta tell
me.
We want no sauce.
No sauce.
Yeah. I would tell y'all the story in an email. You'd be like,
right.
No fucking way.
Right.
Oh, my fault. I ain't.
No, you good. You good. Okay. But he said you didn't pay that $650, did you?
No, I paid the $165, and they gave 10 team cleats, right? So
okay.
You could take that long.
Gave the team cleats out, but the team cleats he bought everybody the new Jais and gave my son some $30.
Oh, they can't do that.
Man,
that's crazy.
I was in there all right, bet I'll just go buy him the Jais.
Okay.
Oh, nah, you bro.
That's what I'm saying, bro. If y'all really knew, you'd be like, all right, I know this, he ain't lying, but
well, look, I believe you.
Yeah. Okay. Nah, I dig it. So listen, we appreciate it. You are actually our first call in. This has been really good. Any last words that you want to leave us off with as you as we kind of move on to our next segment? Talk to us. Give us your last parting words. Again, we appreciate it. This was a really good, interesting scenario for us to talk through. Once you drop the idea, drop the concept of, they went from, what did you say, 2000
to free
to 1400
to free
oh damn, it looked like his phone died.
Okay.
But nonetheless, we kind of understood the scenario, but it was a really good exercise as dad, program director, and
he's still there.
All right, he's back. All right, so we get it. Yeah, we get it. All right, leave us with some parting words.
Man, just keep doing this, bro. I'm being honest with you. If y'all come on here twice a week, 3 times a week, it helps parents like us a lot, because we be Googling this ChatGPT all day, and then y'all had an answer. So a lot of stuff that I be texting in the chat to y'all, you'll notice it's like he going with our conversation, but it's conversations we be having. We don't got nobody to talk to and really ask that question and be like, yo, why is this happening? Is this right? And then y'all be like, no, it's not right, but it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Break it down to us to be like, all right, take this route so you won't avoid it, and if you're going to deal with it, this is what you need to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, we appreciate it. We gonna get as current as we can. Understand also, we got a program director. We got my bad. Let me get the guys up here. We have this is a high school girls coach. We also have another high school girls coach, but also a program director. What you said, you went to soccer.
Yeah,
then you went to coach basketball. Then you had to drop people off. You had to do.
And then wait, Q, you give me too much credit. Middle school girls coach.
Oh my bad.
High school yet. I'm middle school.
Ain't high school yet. But no. Saying all that to say, we're working on as current as we can get. But what we do try and do is explicitly what you just said, where you know, like me, I've coached, and right now I'm just inside the seat happily. I'm in the seat as just dad, right? So like with me, I end up having like a lot of your POV, but then we got the program director right here. Then we have coach right here, where I feel like all sides of this youth basketball coin ends up getting voiced, and we try and give y'all as transparent and as honest and as vulnerable of opinions as we can, to where anybody that is starting off, if you're in middle school or going through what we're going through with all our boys, like you can get something, whether it works with your situation, whether you agree with it. What we give you is our honest opinion. And so, yeah, we appreciate you, brother.
Hey, look, man, I personally want to say appreciate it, man. Just to have somebody from another state chime in and show us love and ask us questions, bro, that motivate us to keep going, to give you all the answers that we can give you. You get what I'm saying?
Sure.
Because we had this idea and we didn't know what it was going to do. And, you know, just to be able to reach out, you know what I'm saying, to be able to be heard by someone in another part, because just to tell you a little bit about this city full of hate, bro. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know if, you know, every city like that, but Charlotte, like, I'm from West Virginia. It was more love there. Like, it wasn't nothing there country. I'm a country guy, right? And it's a lot of love that we'll give you the shirt off our back. You come to Charlotte, don't nobody want to come together on nothing. And us three was able to come together and kind of give you all sides, like he said, and be able to just do our part to try to help you guys out. And we appreciate that, bro.
Yes, sir.
Y'all too, man.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, fellas. So as we ended off, I'll give y'all this last one. Pointless / outdated training concepts. I'd love for y'all to unpack what are some pointless / outdated training concepts that you still see people get off. They might even post it as content. But yeah, Wayne, let's go to you first, brother.
I would say some of the more pointless is just standstill shooting. Standstill shooting, even gun shooting. Those would be like, you know, I got my kid got on the gun, or I got on the gun. Like, yeah, a lot of that is somewhat pointless. Unless you're making it more game-like, more game reps, more live, intense. It's basically done for none. Because in a sense, you're not going to catch the ball with no one running at you and able to take your time and shoot a shot. So I feel like standstill shooting, old school mic and drill is pointless. Intensify.
Man, you don't like the miking?
Reverse it.
I do the reverse, yeah.
Invert it, reverse it. Make it more intense. You know what I mean? Tell someone, hey, yo, go down and do the mic and drill. Give me 20 reps, 10 on each side. What did they get out of it?
Well, I will say this, Wayne. It do help with the touch.
It do.
Yeah.
But make it more intense.
Yeah.
Make it more intentful.
And I ain't gonna lie. Like, we still do the mic and drill.
Yeah.
But it's more so like as a warm-up. And then you have low backboard finish and high backboard finishes.
No,
and
that's adding more intent to it.
Right?
More intent to it. That's
or
saying,
I mean, sometimes I just do that to make sure his legs is warm.
No,
like my son, he been growing, and so before even, and this is something that's like when you get a high school, middle school kid. I'll speak to like my son's scenario, and I imagine there's a lot of people that go through this as well. Sometimes my training plan has to get aborted because of
it's based on how the knees can go that day, the ankle, the soreness.
There it goes. Like so,
yeah,
like
all that.
Like so, my son maybe. Me and Wayne, we both in the same scenario. Within like the past year, our kids have grown maybe like 4 to 5 inches.
Yeah.
Right. And so within that, if you understand what that means, it's a lot of ibuprofen and then it's a lot of knee hurting. And
it's a lot of can't even ride in the car in the front seat because they move it around.
Yeah.
Knees trying to stretch knees out. Yeah, all that.
Yeah. So saying that to say, sometimes I like we start off with like some handling and then like some form shooting, and then before I know what we're going to do, go ahead and hit that micing. And if I see him bouncing, because I'm like, you got to get it off the net, the ball don't drop, and you like, I know what it's going to be because of like them knees. No matter, sometimes I'm like push through it, but there's this part where you're motivating them, but you also understand like, it's a limited thing. And so yeah, like I use the micing for that. But I'll toss it back to you, Wayne.
No, I mean you're right about that. I mean, and like I'm saying, you're right. You can use it to warm up. It's just more so. It's just more so intent. Yeah, intent that goes into what you're doing, why you're doing it. Just doing it just to say, hey, go do micing to pass time by. More so working, like you say, low backboard, high backboard, different spins. Like we do the inverted where it's this hand inside on the other side. You know what I mean? Just working on the touch now that we didn't necessarily do back when we were younger. But now you understand why you have to do it to build the muscle memory to do and finish the way they want to finish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, I feel like there are certain things that like we don't, as a team, we don't do 3-man weave. Because in a sense, when do you ever on the court pass the ball and run behind somebody?
Never.
You know what I mean? So it's things like that I understand why we did it, but I understand now how you can tweak it to make it make sense.
Yeah, like even honestly, I think maybe this would have been probably 4th grade. I eliminated specifically the 3-man weave, but I took a concept out of it. So where what we would do would be like the pass and then middle guy pushes up and then the wing just run flat out.
No, for sure.
But also we would pick up at a little above half court, because that's what you end up seeing so much more in the game, is that exact specific scenario to where if the person in the middle don't have a good handle, they might be trying to pitch, and you got to read if that man try to jump it. If it's not, it's more like realistic in there, where I think realistic scenarios matter for sure. But Trey, talk to us. Pointless / outdated training concepts. Right here, you can shit on a training concept that you've seen on IG.
I'm gonna be honest, man.
Not shit on it.
Right. That's how he said it. I'm gonna be honest, man. It's a lot of pointless stuff I can't even grasp a hold of right now.
Give me a couple.
Man, my head is. I'm thinking about a lot of them. But I agree with Wayne on the 3-man weave. Like I have to piggyback on that. But how it was taught to me, I wouldn't say it's pointless, but I don't use it. I don't want to say pointless, because I mean, like you said, it is a action where pitching and run behind. When do you see that? But I actually do a transition type drill where kind of like what you saying, but it's just more of, running lanes. I teach running lanes, and then if we run the lane, and rim runner from a 4-out perspective. So I do it from a 4-out perspective, where you pitch it to, your guard, and he's looking up. We'll pitch it to the strong side, then we'll take it out, hurry up, take it out, pitch it to the guard, pitch it up to the left side. And I make trips out of it. I got it from USA Basketball. I named 5 trips. That's what I call it. And then I'm just telling them to hit these. Then on the last one, we might reverse it and do this. So I don't do 3-man weave. I do that. I do more, like you said, a concept. So if I had to say one, 3-man weave would be one.
Okay.
Say pointless.
I'd say this might be controversial. But I'm against, me and my son has probably never really did like that. I've seen it. It's one of them social media favorites. You gonna rarely, if ever, see me work a kid out with 2 balls.
Oh yeah.
I don't do the 2-ball
drill.
The juggling shit. Like I've never really seen like the value in it as much as like working on like specifically like the hand-to-hand real movements to it. You see kids that can be like they can do all this stuff like 2 balls, and I personally have never seen how it translates, and felt like it was really, really necessary. The most that I would do with him was make it to where he can know how to go up and down pound. Because like certain things you're going to do at practice no matter what with different coaches. So you adhere to what with the environment you might be in. So he gonna know how to do it like this. He's gonna know how to walk forward, back and forth with it. But like all the like hand juggling stuff, I personally, and again, like a lot of people will say like my son can handle the ball. It's just nothing that I ever seen value in.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But I will say this though, Q, with doing that, I've seen a guy do a training where it just worked on coordination, where he was dribbling, but I seen him making them take steps over the line and back too, to kind of help dribbling and taking steps. So I mean, just that. I mean, and to me, we all know basketball is an ego sport. So I think if the more you have a player work out with two balls, the more of an ego he'll have. If he can master two basketballs, I think you would give him a bigger ego. If you ask me, I mean, I don't say it would hurt or make him, but
I feel like there's levels. There's levels to it. I mean, I feel like two ball is something that you can do at a very early age. Now, it has its benefits as being able to, as a mindset, can do what you're instructed to do with a ball in both hands. I get that. Now, to actually formulate a training behind it,
training behind it,
No, I feel like it could be just like you were saying, the mic, and it can be a warm up to something. You know what I mean?
Especially like I definitely get it at the younger age. Because you kill two birds with one stone. So like instead of going right hand pounds and then left hand pounds, just get to do that.
Like, but it has a benefit. Like I mean, even with Steph, everybody wants to allude to his two ball workout in the beginning of the game, but that leads to just a warm up.
Yeah, all he's doing is getting his mind fired and his like. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, then after that, it's more so a one ball thing to what he's doing. So it's like, I get it. Just same as the mic and drill, some of the other things we mentioned before that may not be as formidable. It has a purpose at a certain level at a certain time. I'm not going to just negate it and say it doesn't have any benefit, but at the same time, I'm not building my training around two balls. That may be the warm up. Like I do a 30-30-30 where you're at the ankles, at the knees, at the shoulders, just pounding. Just more to get your body, get the blood flowing.
Yeah.
But after that, we're more so into one ball because you only play basketball with one ball in your hand.
Right. And you never doing this with. Right. I don't know. It's just like a weird thing.
You do it like that.
Yeah.
Nah, for sure. Like,
and not like to be honest, this is and we can kind of end this at this space, but I think there's a space, especially as dads, that listen to your kids during training also. Where, like, for example, sometimes we can get into training and I want him to do a very specific way of doing a specific thing. And sometimes if you listen to your kid, they'll be like, well, dad or a trainer, this is how I approach this scenario. I'm never in the game actually doing this like this.
That part.
And then if you can take that, listen to what they're saying, look at the film, now train what he's doing and read off of that. It's not like you brought the word ego up. Sometimes it's not the ego of you as a dad, you as a trainer. It's that athlete, what they're actually going to do. And I think that's a really, really less sought after, like, important thing within training. Is actually listening to the athlete and how they really, really approach. I know with like as we talk about training, something that I do a lot is I watch his film to understand what we should be training on as well. Because of like we'll do a bunch of different things, but there's certain things that we never work on that he does in a game. And then it's like, let me clean this up. Because that's a natural reaction that you're really doing. And if we can clean that up, if you're going to go to it, cool. It's not about what I want you to do as much as what you're doing and getting better at that. Fellas, as we wind it down.
Damn, that's a true statement though, bro.
It's
a true statement though. Now, what you're saying is like, you never know what's going to build into or everything like that. But it's always good to make sure that you're kind of attacking different areas. Sometimes you have to expose the trainee to things that they may not do. I mean, you want to perfect what you do. And I can say that from a personal experience. Like with my son is more so like, I know what you do well. Of course, we're going to train that and try to it be as elite and perfected in that moment as well. But at the same time, here are the other things that you're not thinking about that may present areas to get better at. And you know, with training with him is and with other kids as well. It's like, and I'm gonna go off subject and I'll make a little rant right quick, but it's like, if you're not watching these kids play basketball, how can you train them?
There you go.
If you're not going to games and seeing the weaknesses, seeing what their coach wants from them, and I've said this before, if you're not in tune with what they're doing for their particular organization, their team, their role for their team, it's hard to train a kid to be better. You know, because in a sense, you're just training general skill set that doesn't translate. As a trainer, you should be at games. You should be talking with coaches, understanding what is needed, what they see from a perspective of a coach that's promoting their recruitment, what areas they can get better at, versus you doing what you feel like they're gonna do and what you want to be good at, but doesn't translate to their program, their system, their style of play within their team. You know, I've seen many times where, you know, you're training a kid to be a previous kid that you've trained,
right?
Versus what that kid is. You know, as a trainer, we're gonna do right by these kids and do right by the game itself, by our city, getting our kids prepared to be recruitable. We should be in tune and communicating with each other, because one thing I hate to see is a kid that is working on 4 or 5 dribble combinations and is setting screens and catching and popping. You know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying.
The last thing I want to do is see a kid working on 5 dribble moves that for their team is just setting and popping. How they're being developed the right way, how they're being successful, how they're being trained to be recruitable.
Yeah.
You're just doing, as a trainer, what you feel like you want to do.
Yeah, you're just doing what you want to do.
Hence the reason why when I do group training, it's amongst a group of same position.
Which makes sense.
I'm not going to be training a point guard, a center, a shooter. No, it doesn't make sense for their well-being to be exposed to things they're not going to do in a game. Now, it's one thing, and I will say, people going to be like, what you mean? How you going to get better if you're not training on things you don't do well? There's in-season training and there's off-season training.
There you go.
Off-season training is based on building things you don't do. In-season training is about building things you do well and becoming more elite for it at the team, at the program that you're with.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, I completely agree.
For sure.
So, fellas, we do the shout outs. Some might say that this is an upcoming Glazed King segment.
That part.
So, again, Wayne, Trey, as we leave off, what do y'all have for us? Trey, we'll start with you.
You already know what I'm about to say. What's the donut without the glaze? Hey, look, man. Shout out to Noel. I think that was his name. I was at the Fall League, and they was the one that brought up the Glaze King. I was telling y'all about it, and they, you know, it was like, hey, man, shout us out, man. You know, show us some love. They was at the Olympic game with Justin golfing on the sideline, and we was watching Corvian. Corvian got a shoot over there, lefty. I forgot what they said his name was. Got dreads. I don't think he played last year, but he's shooting that ball. Shout out to him. Sorry, I forgot your name because I did.
This isn't biased because you're a Corvian coach now.
No.
Okay,
I was actually just watching, and I was like, oh, you know, just trying to see what's over there. You know, and then right. And then shout out to my boy Genius Gibson, man.
G Code.
Man, look, man, my boy came to play this morning. Just a little quick thing, man. Every third Friday, I do something called Boys Night Out. All right. and I get all the kids, basketball kids from any team, mainly my team, but I send out invites, and whoever come, they come. I set up PlayStations in the church. They play up and down, open gym, not structured. And then I talk to the parents. They get sodas and pizzas for them, and they just come in there and we fellowship. I talk to them 20 minutes every session about something. First session, we talked about, a suicide and how high that rate was, and just having an outlet to be able to talk to us. The second one, I brought in Coach Real. He has a youth style fitness thing that he does for obese kids.
Love it.
Yeah, so bringing a community in. But I talked to them about adversity. And I mean, sure enough, I got up in the morning and adversity happened. Change of plans. Had to take my kids along with me to get to the game. So that took away time. Then I had to go get my boy. And then we racing, trying to get to the gym. And then when you're thrown off schedule, I was headed to Carolina Courts Indian Trail. We was playing at Cox Mills. So I had to turn around. Still made it. 2 minutes late, but we still made it.
Are you giving yourself a Glaze King right now?
I'm giving myself and Genius though. But but this is about Jim getting the Genius though. And I told him, he came out. I said, man, just look, man. I apologized to the team. I said, look, man, that's on coach. I just talked to y'all about adversity. But guess what? Just play. The expectation is compete. Y'all already know that. We played BOBW. We won the game, but my boy Genius shot that leather off the ball. I'm talking about he was like 4 for 5, 5 for 6 from 3. He was letting that thing go.
Sir.
I was like, hey, yeah. So shout out to Genius Gibson, man, and my team for just handling the adversity. I just talked to them about adversity. Shout out to my 2032 guys. We just hoop. We got games tomorrow. I love y'all, but shout out to y'all. That's all I got.
All right, Coach. Way too nice.
I want to give a shout out to just the women's game in general. We had the WNBA finals happen. Some good basketball between Phoenix and Las Vegas, and it wasn't promoted as it should have been, but there was some of the best basketball I've seen outside of the bad officiating. But the basketball itself was at a very high level. Very intense level. You've seen a 4-time MVP take over and take her team to a championship in Aja Wilson. You've seen a coach in Becky Hammond really show her superiority, which she learned from coaching the men's game with Greg Popovich. And you just seen some good basketball all around that it allowed me to not miss basketball during a time where the NBA or college basketball wasn't going on. And I just want to give a shout out to the women's game. And
let me ask you this real quick.
Yeah, for sure.
GOAT.
Yeah.
We throwing GOAT on Asia or what?
Hey,
what we doing?
Right now,
what we doing? We throwing GOAT on Asia or what?
Disrespect to Candace Parker or Lisa
Candace Parker to Cynthia Cooper.
Yeah, not
about to say
yeah.
But I'm just saying, like,
you throwing GOAT on it?
Man.
I mean, she's putting it out there. Like her accolades by itself.
And just look what she did this year.
Maya Moore. I mean, I'm gonna shout out Maya Moore, who retired and went through a different route and did some, off the court things that are very phenomenal. But damn,
are you putting GOAT on it, Wayne?
I am. I'm putting GOAT on.
She's definitely in that conversation.
You ain't giving it to her yet.
I can't. Well,
I just seen her today. She posted the Thanos hand. And she said she had all the rings too. And I was like, oh, damn. He dragging too.
Yeah.
Wayne?
You know what? We got to go there.
We got to go there.
We got to go there.
Okay. And I'm talking about back to back to back to back. Come on.
I mean, we ain't got no choice but to go there. I mean, like, she can snap her fingers in, like, the NBA. Like, no, she's goated. Like,
yeah. Hey, listen. Never mind. That's a different. Shout out to Bam Adebayo.
Yeah,
oh no, sure.
I'll just leave it. Yeah.
I can only remember. I can only imagine.
Yeah, that's why I said.
Right. Yeah, baby.
Talking about the golden.
Yeah.
The golden. Yeah.
Damn, hurry up. She ain't getting no younger.
Oh no, take your time.
Hurry up.
Take your time.
All right, so fellas, nonetheless, this has been a fun episode of Open Gym Podcast.
10-4 for sure,
again,
bro.
we stuck to a topic today. We heard y'all in the chat. Y'all said, "Hey, make sure y'all don't leave the youth basketball and all that." I see y'all making the NBA pivot. When G pull up on us, we gonna talk NBA. But when it's the guys, it's youth basketball. It's developmental. It's grassroots. It's high school basketball. This was fun. Shout out to Mason Franklin dad.
Way to pull up, bro. Way to pull up.
Give us a scenario to kind of talk through. This has been fun. This has been good. Again, from coaches to casuals, grassroots to the league. This is Open Gym. I'm Coach Q.
Coach T, who I be.